Ripping pepperoni.
Alright, good morning everybody. This is Grimcat, and we are back with some more Dungeons & Dragons on Wednesday in the Shifting City. I'm feeling a little congested today. I don't think I'm dying. I mean, more than the normal sort of living through life.
That kind of dying you're doing.
It's just allergies and all that.
Oxygen is really poison, and it just takes 80 years to...
Yeah, 80 years if I'm lucky. But either way, it's just sort of allergy season where I am, and there are great swaths and clouds of pollen outside, so that's what's up. We're going to go ahead and introduce everybody. We're going to start in the middle this time, then work our way to either end. So, Guts, go ahead and say hi.
Good morning. Welcome to Chronication, everyone.
Rick.
How do you do, gamer?
Adrian.
Hello.
Tadpole.
What are you doing with your life listening to us play?
And Zydroin.
Heyo.
Also, the joke's on you. They really aren't listening to us play. Last session was sort of an interesting one. Very different change of pace than what we usually do. We had job interviews for people. We were promised a little bit of help from Strom Tully, Ember Fury, and he sort of gave it to us in the form of some, I'm going to say, less than useful magical equipment. And speaking of which, Guts, you can go ahead and you can equip yourself in +1 versions of pretty much whatever equipment you would like. Armor, weapons, things like that. Nothing exotic, because unfortunately you've lost that, but you can sort of get from, the cart.
Oh, thank God. I'm like, oh my God, all my armor's gone. I have a question though. Would it be possible to look around to be able to find, I guess, items that might be able to replace my Pipes of Haunting?
You can. Things are going to be crazy expensive in the city right now.
Yes.
Let's see.
I mean, maybe I could possibly be able to try and get a discount. The 5-finger discount. Maybe. I don't know.
Just take Tadpole with you, please.
Yeah, I'll take Tadpole with me when I go out.
Hey now.
Hey, Tadpole.
Yes.
I'm gonna be going out soon to, get some equipment. Would you like to come with me? I might need that 5-finger discount. Yes, I might need that 5-finger discount help.
You 5-finger discount?
Possibly.
That sounds interesting. I don't care what we're doing so long as we're shopping. Girls' Day out.
Yeah, Girls' Day out. Maybe I should take Zoosh with us. Do you think?
Zoosh would be fine to go out. Zoosh. Zoosh tends to enjoy shopping.
Girls' Day out.
The frilly things.
Arm around her shoulder. All right, girl, let's go.
So if you're looking to
try not to let Zoosh get kicked.
We can braid each other's hair.
You have hair.
I don't have any hair.
Oh.
I don't have any hair.
I don't think any of you have hair.
Bring the hag so you can braid their hair, because Zoosh doesn't have hair.
Oh yeah, it's a Girls' Day out.
I could just totally imagine Adrian with the baldest head ever.
It shines. It literally gleams in the moonlight.
Guts, you are super crackly all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Just like you
I
didn't
thought it was
start
different.
that way, but you're that way now.
Yeah, give me a few minutes. I've been having some problems with my microphone.
But yeah, you, you take the hags, you take Zoosh, you take
The
the
kobold.
girls, and you go out. So again, you know, it's got to be said, the city is in disarray at this point, to say the least. There's not a lot of shops that are out and about. There are ways to get things, to buy things. In Tadpole, you know, your sort of circles, you know, are very conducive to that finding. So if you're out and you're shopping and you're really taking some time to do it, you can get somewhere that will sell Pipes of Haunting. They're gonna be sort of under lock and key right now. You know, theft obviously is pretty high in times of crisis. Prices are very high. You're looking at like 10,000 gold just to get these fairly simple Pipes of Haunting. And you could possibly purloin it, but it's certainly not going to be the easiest thing to do.
I'll put it on the back burner for now, but I will keep that in mind
Okay.
because I don't got 10,000 gold. And I think that would take, if I do want to, if like Guts isn't normally someone who does the 5-finger discount on a regular basis, so she'd have to prepare if she wants to, like mentally.
All right.
But I will, I guess take this time to like just look around, see if anything might be useful, like weapons and all that.
You know, there's a lot of people trying to take advantage of things. You know, they're selling, you know, 100% guaranteed demon, you know, wards and things of that nature. So it's a little hard to determine what's actually good from the dross that's around. And nothing really catches your eye. Like, you know, yeah, that's it. That's the genuine article. But, you know, there's any number of people trying to hawk you, you know, crap.
Can I just say that going from 23 armor class to 12 really hurts?
It hurts your insides, yeah.
Do you at least feel better knowing that your plate armor made my armor class?
Not my plate armor.
What's that?
Not my plate armor.
I was thinking though, while we're out, I guess, doing this girls day, would I be able to find like any health potions? And how much would they be if I could find them?
Common health potions, sure. There was a shipment of health potions in with what Stromtoli gave you. There were
7.
Never be too careful.
Yeah.
There were 7. Because I totally didn't take the room.
Yeah.
I know I have one of them.
I'm pretty sure didn't everyone else grab one and you grabbed the rest?
Pretty sure that's what we did.
I was, you know, I was kind of a bit tired at the end of last session. I don't remember all too well. I may have.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what we said we were going to do because you were tanking.
So does that mean I have 3?
Yes.
Yes. Because I'm not going to take another one on top of the 3 I have. Although...
But yeah, regular common health potions, 2d4 plus 2, you can find, and you can find in abundance. They're about $500 a piece, though. Greater healing potions you can find as well, but again, they're a little.
Get your hags to make them.
You know what? Yeah, I don't have that much money. This is just gonna put her hands like on the bridge of where her nose would be, and go like, why am I so poor? Why am I poor? Why am I like this?
It's a rhetorical question of Zeus, of course, but excuse
Yeah.
me, Zeus puts a hand on your shoulder and is like, well, you're lucky to be alive. You lost everything, so it's only natural. We're going through some times of hardship at the moment, but it'll be all right. We'll get back on our feet.
Yeah, I guess alive, relatively speaking, but yes, I see your point.
Fair enough.
God damn, that's gotta be one of the most mature things I've heard Zeus say.
Growing up, my little sister's growing up.
Let's go buy dresses.
Yeah, let's go buy some.
No dress shopping.
Oh, the thought of dresses made someone leave.
So sort of in this downtime as well, the rest of the folks would sort of be hanging around at the house unless you tell them differently. And at this point it was not really differently. We didn't have like a meetup at whatever or whenever or anything like that, so the house is a bit crowded for the moment.
Could you almost say it's a crowded house? Aye.
It's a
Hey.
it's a
Sorry,
full
you
house.
Americans probably don't even know that.
Crowded House was an excellent band from the late 80s.
Oh wow.
Hey.
Okay, you
I was-
younger guys.
I was
probably-
legitimately just thinking, if we kitted out all of the people that were bought, how much gear would be left? Like, can we just pawn off the wreck?
Like the regular people, the people you just hired are already kitted with their own stuff. But the
So-
way it's worked, and we're sort of simplifying things. Like if you wanted to grab +1 stuff from the wagon, you can. But if you did not wish to grab, that's all there was. Like you can't. I'm not gonna let you abuse this one and just sell it. So I believe we had kitted out the skeletons, and we have kitted out the guts, not the guts, but guts. Zeus would have
also
grabbed
took
some
that.
stuff. The hags probably would have grabbed some things as well in order to get some better defenses themselves. But past that,
I'm gonna make some zombies. Some nice tanks going.
yeah.
I also
Yeah, I really
um,
have a decent amount of stuff already. I wouldn't need any just random +1 things off the tray.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about.
and I just grabbed a hide armor.
Sure.
Of course, I'm grabbing the +1 cooking utensils.
Grim, can I tape Sledgehammer to my zombies? I just tape them into their hands.
Well, first you have to invent tape. Remember
we'll
when you
get
had
some-
that
we'll
like
get some,
universal? Was it solvent? Did you have solvent, or did you have the adhesive?
Solvent is
We had
stuff that
solvent.
makes it
Okay.
No way.
Well, fair enough then.
I want to
So
get
we
some.
can You
some
can make
tar.
slippery bits of thin paper.
I believe you've sold the solvent or gotten your used or something.
Yeah, give it to Scav, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, we gave it to Scav.
We were trying to get a certain rat back to.
Is there a +1 chainmail in there, or is it just medium?
It was just medium.
Up to breastplate?
Breastplates, yeah.
So if you have it, if the Elmo is plus Dex modified and you have negative, does that mean you have -2 to your AC, or is it just only additional?
No, I'm pretty sure you take away from AC as well, or at least I
Yeah.
did.
Well, then zombies are useless. No zombies.
Yeah.
They just have a different kind of use. But yes, other than the normal things, which, you know, throw up your air quotes at normal, nothing too unusual or strange happens to you while you're out shopping. Again, there are small demons everywhere, typically in the form of mains. But now there are definitely other types of undead, demons that are walking the streets as well. There are certainly closets up in the high places, towers, things like that. The city tends to be quite vertical, so there is plenty of room for them to go into. But there's also different, stranger things that are certainly more intelligent than the mains in their grabbing and touching tendencies, but they're doing their dangdest to stay sort of out of sight and away from any sort of gatherings of people.
Are they? They're not doing anything. They're not attacking anyone. They're just like watching. Well, I'll note this. I wonder, do you think, would I know if the mains are acting alone, or are they like in bands? Are they like, it's like, are they in the city looking for people, or are they on like orders from someone, or are they, just,
Their intelligence.
or like they're interested?
You wouldn't know. That's an interesting idea.
This is like, like something wild appears out of nowhere. You go to check it out because it's interesting. You haven't seen it before, right?
Sure. Like, if you came to the step in logic, that it's possible that they're looking for something while working for someone, I, as the DM, am not going to either naysay nor corroborate with that. That's...
But let's face it, you just saying that means they are doing something.
Alright, that
it
means...
could be just everyday normal paranoia.
No, yeah, because, like, it's the thing of, like I was saying, either they're on the orders of someone, or they, something appeared that they've never seen before in their backyard, and they're like, well, I wonder what this is, let's check it out.
At this point, you've seen them sort of do both. You've seen them be random and on their own and just, touchy-feely things, but you've also seen ones that sort of follow orders, listen from the slavers, and, act on orders as well.
I totally think their intelligence just consists of one touch.
Would I be able to maybe corner one of the mains and ask?
You can corner one of the mains and speak to it in a language that it surely doesn't know.
Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Language barriers are a thing,
I'd like
guys.
to think
I forgot.
You pin one against the wall and you're just shouting things at it.
I just put, like, if you ever watch Into the Spider-Verse, I just put my hand on its shoulder and go, hey. Hey.
Yeah, but yeah, you wouldn't get any kind of useful information, and you probably wouldn't even get much in the way of, like, resistance from that. They're around to be sort of led around by, touches and all that. They're not insistent on, like, hey, don't touch me, or anything like that, even.
Understandable. I guess if everyone is done with their shopping, I'll like kind of snap my fingers and go, "All right, guys, let's pack it up. Let's head back. There's nothing more to see here."
You know, the 3 NPCs surely would. Tadpole, did you have anything else very specifically that you wanted to do? I mean, I know you're doing this stuff for the week and you're following down trails and all that, but
Yeah, no,
Okay.
no, I'm good.
So when you get back to the mansion, again, you see things are somewhat crowded. A lot of the other, we're just going to call them hirelings, because, I mean, that's what they are, have sort of moved into the mansion. Things are crowded. You know, they're sort of making do with whatever available space there happens to be. They're not, you know, taking over, but they are here. They are cramped. They're getting to know each other some, and they're trying to strike up conversations with you all too. You know, it's nothing serious, nothing deep, but they're trying to get at least a bit more familiar.
Who's the most
Seeing how cramped it is outside, I'm a step out and set up my own little house.
Oh, you set up a
You'd set up sort of a way.
It'd be like, I guess, neighbor to the mansion, but my instant fortress isn't gonna, you know, knock buildings over or anything like that.
Who's being the most friendly of the new
Because we
additions?
happen to have this happy, you know, neighborhood map that we very rarely lose. If we remember, we are on number 1.
There's not really any space big enough.
I'm so, my eyes are bad. I could not see it. I see it now, but
Wait. Wait,
Is
I'm
this
I'm
house
just saying.
empty?
I'm just saying. I don't see any houses. It's like, why is there not space? There's totally enough space.
You know, varying degrees of empty. You might share it with some denizens as they come in and out to get out of, you know, whatever, but nobody's like claimed it.
Well, I will 20 feet by 20 feet. So that'd be what, like 2 squares? How big's each of the squares on this map?
I don't remember.
'Cause I doubt they're
That's
5
not
feet.
exactly a scale, no. So, you know,
Yeah.
whatever.
Well,
Unless you're doing it
if
for
one
some
of the
power gamey stuff, whatever.
Well, if the north wall of this building should happen to topple, that is fine. But in this space, I'll set up a fortress.
Okay. So why don't you describe just a tiny little bit to the rest of the party of what you are doing?
I basically just seeing that it's so crowded in the house and everything, I kind of turn my nose up a little bit, walk outside and pull out a little 1-inch diameter cube and place it on the ground saying fortress, which I assume would be a good word for the trigger word, and then with the grinding of stones and shifting of metal inside of it, it expands to a, well, not giant fortress, but apparently 20 feet and 30 feet high fortress. Oh, sorry, and it's made of adamantine.
damn.
Fortress, I believe, is a little bit of a misnomer. It's more like a tower.
Yeah, it's a tower more than a full fortress.
It's not like mini fortress or anything like that, but it is a tower of appropriate tower size.
I feel like fortress would be a word that's too easy to accidentally say.
Yeah, because, you know, when you say fortress, or when I say fortress, I imagine a 2-scale fortress where it's just, you know, 30 by...
Yeah. It's only 20 feet by 30 high, but so it's basically just a bastion or whatever, but it's there.
Yeah,
It grows.
it's really something.
It's actually pretty roomy inside, so I'd probably take whoever's taking the most space and tell them to hang out in here. So probably the
Well, without a
ogres.
doubt, yeah, it would be the ogres using up the most space.
Yeah, I'll put them on the fortress, and then I'll take top.
And with a little bit of squeezing, of course, they can get in, no problems, no issues. The others just sort of, make do with whatever. Perhaps not all in the same room, but they are doing their best to make do. Move over, silly spiders. If you want to say hi again, you can say hi again.
Hi.
This is
Hello.
my daughter. She was
Was I
very excited to say hi to YouTube.
was I correct with the name the other day?
Riley, yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was Mouse.
Yeah. she was squeaking earlier, like a little mouse,
Nah,
a loud little mouse.
we have freaking mice in our house.
Oh, that's rough. They're tough to get rid of.
I mean, I don't mind. It's like, the scratching in the walls, and I'm sure last night one of them was trying to climb onto my bed/couch.
They'll
He wanted to join you.
Yeah, apparently my dog's freaking useless and just lies there.
they'll do a lot of damage.
He jokes on you. He's teamed up with the mice.
He's on Striper Hazard Pay.
She doesn't like spiders though.
Nah, she does protect me against spiders.
Sounds like a good dog to me.
Except the one time where she just dropped one on your bed.
Oh, that was her. I see that as her trying to protect me. She was telling me it's there and displacing it, but yeah, little bitch could have at least killed it.
That's too much to ask. You asked too much.
All right, so in this intervening time, does anyone else wish to do something sort of special and out of the norm than what we were doing for the week before?
I want to ask the druids if they can shapeshift into a giant spider.
Spore cannot?
Whatever happened with Adrian? Whatever happened with Adrian's spiderlings that he got the druids to look after?
They're right
Still
there.
have them.
They're up
Hasn't
by the
checked
house
on
plant.
They're just useless 'cause they don't make any silk.
Well, yes, that's true.
Look at them sitting in the corners, not making web.
He decided to get spiders without Spinnerette.
Yeah, and as for can I transform into spiders? Well, I can transform into like a tiny house spider, but I haven't seen any super magical spiders.
Can you transform into Reg?
I mean, probably if I spent some time with them.
Oh, we could spend time together. That's no issue at all. We could get to know each other a little bit better. Sort of, what the things that you like, and I can tell you about the things that I like.
Oh, it seems Reg is going to be my
I
friend.
like things to be fresh.
That being said, what would Reg's CR be? Does he have one?
80.
Give me a second. Because he is based off an actual creature. I just don't remember what it is.
You're the CR 80. He's a literal god.
He is not. He's based off of CR3.
Ah, I think I actually can then.
No, I have 2 wedges.
He's a little bit buffer than that, but
You
even
guys
still.
can scuttle together.
Scuttle, scuttle! Because I imagine my voice would change too.
Let's get down to some mischief. But again, if nobody actually has anything that they want to do for the next week,
Probably just chill with the artificer, the artifice. And who's that?
Zul is the poisoner, the sort of alchemist.
Yeah. I just kind of can't see their name because of this other name here.
Kind of a long one. Yeah, but you know, at this point in the stage, talking with them is sort of small talk with them. You know, it's, oh yeah, how have you been doing? Oh sure, I've been doing it along. And you know, to pretty much everyone, this is not the first time that anyone has been out of the city. At least in some capacity. You know, Zul, of course, spends most of her time in the city. She has an established business in the city. Grimgrow tends to go out into the wilderness as she is looking around, raiding, etc., etc. Sue tends to spend most of the time in the city. Again, she sort of has her own established business. The same with Whisper. She typically spends time in the city. Court doesn't exactly tell you if you ask. Duskin, Spore, and Hearth all mostly spend time outside of the Spitty.
So do I.
City, as well as... Man, it's going to be forever since I remember your name. Zydroan. And, you know, the ogres are still entertained at the fact that you thought you could sit on the wall. Which is about the way conversation goes.
Can we take the walls with us?
You could take the walls with you. If you do that, it means your movement is going to be slowed. I certainly don't mind if you do. Hart does come with his own carriage, basically filled to the brim with supplies. There's food in there, there's water in there, there's all sorts of miscellaneous, you know, adventure pack type things, you know, rope, candles, etc., etc., etc. He would rather not leave something as important as food, water, blah blah blah, up to chance, and not have a backup in case something should happen to casters who can do it, separated, yada yada yada.
I was gonna say there's 2 druids in the group now. Like, we should be sweet on food.
Sure.
Imagine all it took is to hire someone who was prepared to have someone prepared.
But unless there's anything without further ado, we will step out of the city after I refill my coffee. So I'll be back in like, I don't know, 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
I'm gonna get some water.
Hey, see, this is why I drink Coke for D&D, because I can refill my glass without having to.
God, that would kill your stomach though. Coke this early in the morning, fuck. And I had a mouthful of Bluevie when I woke up.
Don't worry, it's in a Coca-Cola glass, so it's you know,
It's kosher. Oh yes, I also chucked that money through.
I did say that. And about that random $37 extra that I found, Steam hadn't taken the money out yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's out now. When I checked my bank this morning, your money was in and the money was out, and I was like, well, that's weird as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Why is like every silver dragonborn
Is it
a
time to
paladin?
eat?
Almost. Grandma's gonna put this on your pizza, but I want to make sure you like it.
Because every red
okay?
dragonborn's a
Turkey
barbarian.
sausage. Grandma likes it. I had it at
Probably, let's face it.
Do you want it on? You just want cheese. Okay. Then we'll spread that around.
Every black dragonborn would be a rogue. Well, not like that, but
That is hilariously racist. Ah,
it's
you're dumb.
hilariously unintentionally
Everyone looks at their shoes when a black dragonborn walks past.
Sorry.
Like, alright, I pretend I do not see it.
Oh no, there's a joke in New Zealand that the Māoris will steal your shoelaces.
Oh my god.
Man, why does Wish shit look so cool, but then you know it's just absolute trash?
What do you mean?
Oh, there's
Are you
like,
talking about the bag of the dodgy ass bag of Facebook?
yeah, but there's like one that it looks like what would be a half decent survival kit. Like it's got flint and steel, a torch, a chains, like one of those flexible chain saw things, a knife, what looks like maybe a compass / window breaker, rape whistle. But you also know that it's probably only like a 1 inch by 1 inch box.
It probably would be, but you know, I mean, it'd be better than nothing in a survival situation.
Maybe.
Alright, I'm back. Are we all back?
Yep.
Alright. So we get outside the city, and we can see that there have been a couple of changes with sort of the surrounding... we're going to say mob of demons. They've sort of camped a while off.
It's a war camp. They're laying siege to the
Sort
city.
of several miles, and each of these sort of individual groups has set up sort of a large tent, a large plankin, however you want to look at it, that's sort of very obviously like a command tent. This is something that can be seen from several miles off, from any whoops, I hit my mic. From any group that we are looking at. Yeah, it doesn't take a ton of foresight to see that there are going to be some rather large-scale battles commencing at any second. Perhaps not a second, but any moment. And it looks like before these battles do, they are willing to talk to whomever before they actually start. They're sort of, these tents being set up, they're sort of open and inviting anyone who wishes to come in them. And I guess sort of the question is now, and Hart looks to you as sort of a group, and he goes, all right, what do we do next?
What were these tents you said? What would you say? The tents?
Tents, yes. Any of these large groups that have been sort of accumulating around the city, these large sort of armies or skirmish units, however you want to look at it, because armies is kind of a big thing, have set up like these sort of tents that are either welcoming people to come and talk to parley before battle actually commences, or, I mean, that's presumably what it is.
Bring their terms for surrender, things like that.
Let's
we
not
wanna
talk with
worry
demons
about
by ourselves
talking
again.
to anyone, or do we just want to worry about getting on with the mission?
Let's not talk. Are these demons you're saying that have the tents and
Yes.
stuff? Yeah, no, fuck the demons.
Now, are we taking all of the crew or just a few of the crew with us?
Presumably we're taking all of the crew. So, you know, our crew
Okay.
looks like... Where is it? This.
I welcome them all to Tadpole's troop, and we are off.
Okay.
I'm not gonna correct that.
So again, you know, the Heart is still looking at us. Well, we're heading off, but where are we heading to?
I shall
We have
follow.
the
Who
compasses.
has the compass?
I mean, can I pop into one of the tents before we leave and see what's
No.
going on?
The demons.
No?
Don't- The demons.
You just drag me off and like, alright, let's go.
Last time we went with a
Do
bunch of
we
demons,
not
everyone fucking
remember
got captured.
Oxford?
I do want to ask the ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Did we keep the ranger, by the way?
We did.
For some
Okay.
reason.
And just tell the ranger that make sure you can get us home, because your very life depends on it.
We have the stones.
No, just look at the stone. It's going to guide me back to the city.
Oh, okay. We found something there, guys. Okay, sorry, I didn't catch
We
that.
had the
part.
last time.
We got heaps. Like we've all got one, because
Okay. Never mind.
What's his
I withdraw my
face gave us all one, so we could find out.
I think I will go ahead and label what
What's-
they do.
Would Stromtoli have given us quote unquote hirelings those stones as well?
He would have given one to you.
Alright, cool. I'm the only important one.
You don't know who else he would have given one to. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
certainly, presumably, Hart, if no one else.
Yeah, well, if he's been running his own,
So what exactly is
Expedition.
our mission? Just to
Find
find
sources of
stuff, find
divinity.
information, find food. What? Can't remember.
Find sparks of divinity. Is that what we're still doing?
Sparks of divinity. That's right.
Yeah, we don't really
Well-
have a choice.
that's what me and this lot are here for.
Well, what does the compass say? We each have one, right?
Compass? No,
No.
you only have one compass.
Only one compass.
And
Alright.
the compass points towards the highest stack, the highest sort of concentration of quote unquote free floating souls.
Ooh. Wait, I have a question. Actually, never mind. Never mind.
What?
Did you know that my answer was going to be, that's a good question?
What? I didn't hear that.
Did you know that my answer was going to be, oh, that's a good question?
That's a good question. Well, it was me kind of being stupid. Is like, are there free floating souls just all around us? I don't remember.
Not so much. Sorta, yes, but not really.
Obviously, I don't think they're in large concentrations, but there might be one or two here and
Souls
there.
are sort of used as a currency here in the Abyss, so yeah, you're gonna get some numbers, but it's not gonna be anything that a compass is going to point to.
Well, my thing was, can I try and catch one or two souls in my soul bag while we're walking?
They are not just sort of like floating by, or at least it's very, very rare. I mean, that's like literal money that would be
Oh, okay.
drifting in the breeze. Occasionally it happens, but it doesn't happen often.
You see, one soul is like a $20 bill on the ground.
Well, we could always sacrifice one of the NPCs.
I mean,
I
unless
vote Tadpole.
Oh
no,
no.
no.
Not an NPC. Big difference.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I do just want
Thank you.
confirmation real quick. Are we taking the walls with us?
I don't
No.
believe so.
No? Okay.
Yeah. I don't think
You're
Zydrone
actually half decent home
would be very
defense,
happy.
and
I don't think Zydrone would be very happy with moving at 5 feet an hour.
Alright, well, if you are a person and you have a token somewhere on the board, please move your token into where your sort of a marching order is. And if you want specific people who are not PCs in a specific place, now is the time to say.
There was a wagon to Mars skeletons.
Should I delete the donkey token, or do we have 2 cards?
There are 2 carts. Hart has his own cart, and you are given a cart and horse by Stromtoli.
Okay. I'll obviously be on the donkey token.
How long does the water elemental stay out?
It's only
comment
like a
on that?
10-minute thing, so he probably wouldn't really.
Yeah, he's not out.
Whoops.
I still laugh that some DMs can't handle a ranger having their pet, and then there's ours
Well, you know.
needs an entire
Skeletons.
screen.
I don't know if I would say doesn't handle, but aware that gums up a little bit. But does that look pretty good to everybody?
Sure.
Yes. I do like the hags on either side.
Are
of
we
it. I do
going
like
to
that.
send, and again, this is sort of a thing that is up, any of the, say, rangery, say, thiefy type people ahead or behind to scout or cover up tracks? Or are we sort of happy with them being more...
Well, I don't think covering up tracks is an option. We're too big of a troop with 4 ogres. So
I mean, if we
Plus-
could all fit within 30 feet around me, I could cast Pass Without a Trace, but I mean, I was planning on when I'm not leading the cart, if someone else can lead it, I'll fucking shift into a dragon and fly for scouting.
30 feet is likely tough to do. Grim Grimoire, however, can also cast said spell. So between the two of
yes,
you,
Ranger
60
spell.
feet, not a huge issue.
what's the duration
did-
on that spell?
Concentration,
An hour.
an hour, I think.
Or
Yeah,
did we
you'll
want?
lose all your spell slots.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I will either do one or the other. I'll use a spell slot to give us an hour, or I will use a shift slot to give us air scouting.
Yeah, don't waste your spell slots doing pass without trace. We're just too large of a group.
Well,
Again,
in that
with
case,
ogres.
Should definitely scout though.
Absolutely.
I haven't had a fly for a while, so I will use one of my wild shape forms, and as I essentially just turn into a quadrupedal version of myself, I turn into I think it's a youngling I can do? Up to youngling? Yeah. Oh, wormling. So I turn into a silver dragon wormling and take off. I'll keep the party in sight, but I'll give a decent radius for scouting as well.
Any of the NPCs doing the same, or no?
Well, let's have our ranger earn its living.
Okay. Any of the
Who was our other druid?
Spore.
Spore.
Mr. Spore. I'm sure Spore could. Oh, because he's a circle of spores, so he wouldn't be able to do anything that, if something appears all of a sudden, is useful.
Yeah.
Now,
But-
the spore you guys said has some form of communication, telepathic communication.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one thing we should.
I sort
definitely
of
get
sort
done
of
first.
glossed over it this time, but basically, you know. Hold on one second.
Hand that to Riley, please. Thank you. It just came out of the
That
oven.
too
so.
far back either. You know, you kind of need to sit more on the edge. I mean, you're all right for now, but I just want you to be careful. All right. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. As a Myconid, they have sort of an supernatural ability. They release spores, and anything that is released or affected by the spores for like an hour or so enjoy the benefits of sort of, oh my gosh, telepathy.
Is there a range on it?
If there is, I don't know what it is off the top of my head. Let me look up dust. It'll be on dust, I think.
Because I'd like to get our ranger and our anybody going out to get
Yeah,
some
because if it doesn't have a range, I'll
magic mushroom
definitely
spores.
get him to slap it on me before I go.
Let's see, dust. I don't believe I actually wrote it down.
10 miles, I think, was a good distance.
Oh god, lag. Are you going off like the
40
regular
feet.
one? The
See, it's
abyss
only
one?
30 feet. 30 feet. Yeah.
Yeah. So, because I mean, I'll be flying higher than 30 feet.
Yeah. And so we'll go off of that 30 feet so as not to make it a bit too strong. But that does mean, you know, we can communicate sort of within the party. We can sort of relay things as long as we were within, you know, that range of spore. So, like, we can scrunch things in a little bit if we want to keep within this range. Put spore in the center of the party, or...
We could totally scrunch in to get the spores and then move out a little bit because the spores go out in a 20.
Sure. Yeah, like, I'm not going to
easily-
make you do that. I'm just saying if we want to just constantly walk within that, 30 feet range or so. And because if there's
Yeah,
anybody
we're-
willing to constantly talk to you all telepathically, it's Spore.
Well, with that, I tell the party that if I see anything, I'll my signal will basically just be a breath of ice and give a shudder of my body and take off. Flap, flap, flap.
So you travel for the better part of a day, and things are more or less the same than you've seen. And you can see, certainly much clearer than those on the ground can see, that the entire landscape sort of shifts and undulates. It's kind of difficult to perceive when you're there on the ground, and you're not entirely sure why. But it's almost like, if you had to describe it using only ominous words, you would say like the landscape itself is breathing.
Ooh, we're on a living.
The hills have lungs.
You know you're sort of not, because you know you're on these sort of like bugs and insects for the most part. But if that's the way you wanted to describe it, that would probably be the best fit for it. And again, there's from the air you can see there's a large concentration of more of these demons sort of heading towards the city. And you now know that without a doubt that's definitely their goal. And there are larger and larger groups. There are definitely armies marching upon the city at this point.
Well,
Before we left,
city's in
did
for
we
a tough
know?
time.
Yeah, do we know if the city knew about this
The
kind
city
of stuff?
knew, yes. They would have sent out like legit scouts and all that. I mean,
Okay.
they're at least aware in some shape or form.
Did we see them make-
scenario, the scouts didn't come back, and then they still need to know they prepared.
Yeah. Much.
Was it obvious any preparations that they were making?
The city was making some preparations, yes. There are things, plans in place for if the city is attacked. Because obviously, as one might imagine, it tends to happen from now and again. So yes, and anyone who is a citizen or longer would be aware that, the city does have defenses when push comes to shove.
See, I could totally see the city as like Alexander, and to see it alive itself.
Maybe. But for the most part, directly related to you, the journey is more or less, it's simple, it's relatively calm. Nerves are perhaps a bit high. Not everyone has gone out into the abyss, especially amongst the hirelings. And they sort of deal with it in varying degrees of good to bad. Funnily enough, the ogres are having sort of a hard time dealing with it. Sort of the other ones are doing much better. Of course, Heart is, non-pulsed by it.
What kind of problems are the ogres having or displaying?
It's sort of like just they're getting a huge feeling of just paranoia. Every time they are looking around, they can see, or at least claim to see, something within the shadows. No one else is seeing this. You're pretty sure it really is just, nerves, paranoia, fear getting to them. Like, even when we stop, we study, we, do our best to determine if anything really is out there. We pretty much determine that, no, nothing's actually out there.
Now, are these ogres like the super, super, super stupid ogres? Or they have I mean, like kindergarten type of.
Yeah, they're not bright.
Mentality.
They're not bright.
All right.
One smart.
One smarter, but you know.
One's in second grade.
Yeah. One can. But besides the gatherings,
You're breaking up a ton. I can tell you went outside or something, because...
yeah. Sorry.
It's alright.
Besides the groupings that we're seeing, is there anything else great I noticed?
No. Nothing on this first day, as it were. And you're making pretty decent time. You know, there's two carts that are sort of perhaps slowing you down, and the size of the party itself is sort of slowing you down, but you know, you've got some proper scouting this time between yourself and the rangers, so you're going through, you're picking the best paths and all that. So you're making decent time. And before you know it, it's pretty much nighttime. So the question is, I guess, is when do we actually wish to stop? Do we wish to sort of like force march through? We sort of knew of the existence, at least, of a city. It was alluded to by the Babao before, and you know, the slavers in charge of that we think we're heading towards, and you know, Oxmoo. And
how many of our party do not have night vision?
That's a good question.
Are we talking about NPCs or player characters?
Yeah, NPCs.
The heart would not.
But all the players.
I don't know.
No, Guts, you don't have night vision, do you?
I don't. I don't. Dragon form. In which case, I'm insight.
Actually, give me a moment. I don't know.
Duskin would not. Court has some. Sue has sort of night vision. Hart does not have night vision. Zool does not have night vision.
Okay, so there's enough of them that I suggest we park it, set some fires for light, and hunker down for the night.
I just realized I don't have night vision.
Nope.
Inferior DNA, that's what I call it.
Fires are sort of a tough thing to set when there isn't really, like, wood.
Okay, well, light spell, so I'm sure somebody's got
you
light
know,
spell.
Hart would have torches and things like that if you wish to set them up. It's not a huge deal, but, like, you know, for the most part, fires are kind of out of the question.
Okay, well, light spell and maybe a torch or two.
Yeah, and that's...
Let's get a couple light spells
not an
on
issue,
the perimeter.
yeah.
So we can't make a fire out of a pile of the ground?
Make a fire out of a pile of bugs? I mean, you could for a couple seconds, but, you know.
Probably more
Just
text
treat
on
it
their
like
spell
a steam
slots.
train and Rick will stand there constantly shuffling back.
But what sort of
Give
are
us-
sleeping arrangements going to be?
Well, it'll make us stick out quite a bit, but the really big squeeze, save for like the carts, donkeys, and whiskers. But it'd be a squeeze.
Well, like, we could have some people, you know, on the outside of it, doing the whole, what's it called? Making sure no one ambushes us.
Watch. Setting out a watch. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Patrol.
Pretty
You
sure.
have some people on the outside sitting.
Pretty sure that'd be a given. Departing what we've push for. Be smart.
I mean, Adrian can also cast his hat thingy, yeah. So you've got your fortress and the hat.
So as you guys are sort of
We know.
planning and whatnot, gosh, I can't I can't say what I exactly want to say, of course, because my kiddo's in
Your
the room.
mouse.
But eventually Hart sort of speaks up and he goes, oh, for F's sake, put up your tower. You said someone said you had a spell of sanctuary or something like that. Put that up. 3 people will spend watch any given time. The rest will sleep in one of the 2 places. Look, I appreciate that you're putting a lot of thought into this, but I don't think it needs that much thought to it.
Also, can't the artificer do something too? She said she had little thingies.
Mm-hmm.
Have we decided on watch yet?
Let's
I'll
just have
take
those
those.
that have dark vision.
The owl will
Okay.
be out, prowling about.
Which, for all intents and purposes, the artificer basically sets up spells of alarm. Excuse me.
Put them between mine.
Which is the plan. Like, one of the ogres will stay watch with any of the other things. They'll look big, they'll look scary. Everyone gets a shot on watch. We'll get through it. If you don't happen to get your watch tonight, you'll get one some other night.
The skeleton salute.
Fantastic. And you sort of, kind of...
So, in your magic tower of magicness, are there like the windows and stuff? They're like outside piece battlements.
So I know it's not what it's there for, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate people into 3s inside these.
Got arrow slits on all sides. Okay, I'm putting the skeletons in the tower.
Just to, sort of... This is what our watch will be.
I get to be the ogre for a crab.
Of course, the undead don't exactly sleep, so... I guess an undead can join each one. And we can pile on where there would be a bit of weakness or something. But yeah, without too much trouble, you managed to sort of pick a watch. Does anybody have any issues with that? Or with whom our
Nope.
partners are or anything?
Yeah, I can't pronounce this person's name.
You spend a sort of a
Oh,
long
it's so
night, and
easy.
she tries to coach you through her name. Just constantly. She's not sure at
It's
the end
such
of it
an
whether
easy-
you're an idiot or you're doing it on purpose.
Well,
She'll probably never be entirely
It might be both.
sure. She keeps on saying, "Wait, aren't you the wizard, though?"
it's like, well, I thought you were supposed to be smart.
It's not like I speak 7 languages.
But you don't speak Orcish. That's the best language of them all. So powerful, so fierce.
You don't speak the important one.
Pretty much. That guy gets it. So what I'm going to want is from every sort of group, I'm going to want... Oh, excuse me, I got the hiccups apparently. A perception check from, you know, whoever the highest would be.
I'm just gonna put an overarching owl of 20.
Please, people of my group, don't let me be the one with the highest perception.
Well, hold on, because unfortunately it will take me, like, looking through a little bit.
It's very persuasive, Grim.
Oh god, I do that a lot, I swear. And again, I don't have quite everybody's. Tadpole, in this group, your perception is likely highest.
Yeah, I rolled.
Did you? Oh, you sure did. I don't know about this one right here
betcha I
between
did.
Rick and I think
What's Reg's and
Reg
what's
is
yours?
terrible. Reg is at a +5.
Reg is better than me.
Reg is, however, set up as an NPC. Guts, that's going to be you. Chances are the Ranger is going to be the highest.
Give me
in
a
that
hot
one.
second.
Yeah. Ugh.
My owl beat you.
Quite honestly, that's bad because I haven't. My perception's not that good.
Quick, bardic inspiration yourself.
Let me see what the hags actually are.
Wasting on this.
Yeah, I mean, which is gonna look like a wisdom save. Yeah.
Turns out someone was actually casting.
Okay. So we've got sort of a mix here. Some are decent, some are less than decent.
And sorry, that was perception. Right?
Yes.
I have an 8 modifier on perception and passive of 18.
Oh, well, then your perception is...
Oh, you're even better
yeah.
than...
It's even better than Reg's.
Well, yes, I will be seeing the things.
Nice.
Put some sugar in it and it hasn't melted, and it's sort of just like... It's weird. It's like keeping...
I'll be right back. I just realized I put iced tea in the fridge.
Keeping the tea or creamer from mixing in to the bottom a little bit of the coffee. Very strange. So I need you to help me remember. No, I don't. I remember pretty well.
Do you,
I
though?
do remember pretty well. So this 18 is for this group right here, at the very bottom, yeah? Yeah.
Yes.
So while you happen to be on watch, pretty much everyone else is between one of the two abodes. You're approached by someone or something. And again, it's very, very difficult to tell. Oh, if I archived it. Exactly who it is, because, you know, they all sort of look the same.
Hey, that's racist.
Well, it might be racist, but it's also
Well-
true.
Can I delete that? Oh, there.
But you're approached by one of the Babao, and they're trying to sort of stealthily move, but they're not exactly trying to stealthily move. Like, it seems like they don't mind if you notice that they're coming, but they're doing their best to sort of hide from everyone else who happens to be coming. And they start making a beeline straight for you, Rick. Excuse me, I say they, but it's it, or he, or whomever.
Flex on it.
And it's attempting to get your attention. It's waving its hands at you. It's coming closer. It's sort of showing you that it's, excuse me, unarmed as well as it's approaching you.
Okay, so if it's approaching and obviously being non-hostile and that approaching, I don't know. I'm not going to just instantly attack.
Well, it comes towards you, comes right up to you, and starts sort of, you know, yelling at you in Abyssal. It's probably not actually yelling at you, you know, it's kind of a harsh language by normal, but it is talking to you very excitedly.
Didn't we have somebody that we brought on that could speak Abyssal to an
You
extent?
do. There are several people who can communicate with it. It is not one of you three,
Jeez.
however, or those three.
This is universal.
Pretty sure I can,
Oh, you may be able to do something. I'm not super familiar with what you
Yeah.
can do, to be honest.
Oh, no, actually, I wouldn't be able to because I wouldn't have paired it. And it's not a Druid spell anyway, so I don't know comprehension languages.
Wake me up inside.
Can I give him like the 2 seconds hand sign so I can go wake someone, go wake Adrian
Yeah,
up?
he seems to be gesturing at you, very specifically you, to follow it.
I want to gesture it to me to follow me.
Like, there's a whole lot of gesturing for you to follow each other and all that, and it starts to get a little impatient, and it, you know, eventually it throws up its hands in the air and goes to follow you.
So I want to go wake up Adrian and get a translator.
Are you just waking up Adrian, or are you waking up everyone?
Just Adrian.
Okay. Adrian, you're awake.
I'm awake. What does awakening mean?
There is a demon that wants to talk to me, and I don't understand it. And you know magic and stuff. Can you help us out?
I looked at the demon. Is he there?
Since it was just following, I'm going to assume that yes, it is there. You didn't say, you know, you weren't allowing him in or anything like that, so he has sort of followed you into.
I probably would have brought him with me.
Okay.
What do you want?
And you do your magic and all that, and we'll just sort of.
I just speak Abyssal.
Oh, you speak Abyssal now?
I've spoken since last time.
You can't expect me to remember everything. So it's like, look, we need your help. You killed Irul. We need you to come back, and we need you to kill Sold.
What?
Yeah. Look, I mean, you did it once before. Well, I mean, not once before. You didn't kill Sold before. You kind of failed to kill Sold before, but you killed Irul. And so we figure you can kill, Sold. So we need you to go ahead and do that.
Are you relaying this information?
Yeah.
Can you ask him what Sold is in this time?
Yeah, what is sold in now?
The other one that you saw before, the big one, the Hezro.
Oh, got it. And why do you want us to kill him?
Well, we don't want to follow him anymore. I mean, to be honest, we
Okay.
didn't want to follow them to begin with anything, but they have this, this power over demons where you can you have to. But with you killing Irul, he can't affect that many demons at once. So, we're sort of coming in and out of the spell and all that. And so, your moment of clarity, I knew you would still be out here, and what luck you still are. We need you to come and kill Sold.
And what do we get?
Well, I mean, we're slavers. We can get you somebody. We can get back to the city, and we got a little bit of stock there. Look, we can pay you.
We'll
I'm thinking
bring it up,
this is a good idea, Adrian.
but I'll bring it up to the rest of the group. Come, whatever passes for morning in this place.
To quote a great general we all once knew, it's a trap!
Oh, yeah, totally. But we have skeletons with magic weapons now, don't you know?
But I mean, ultimately, I am more than happy to go test out combat capabilities of myself now.
Plus, we also get all the good stuff back. We have
Actually,
ogres.
I really, really wouldn't mind to get 7 fucking lightning spears back. That cost me nearly 10,000.
Yeah, with the Babao, what's his name? Please tell me your name.
His
Give me a name to call you by. Yeah.
is...
The frantic googling of random demon.
Sutina.
Sutina.
It's not a girl's name. Don't say it is.
It's
That's his
just gonna say it's a
personality
cool
now.
name.
He doesn't like to be called a girl.
It's
That is
It's gonna say it's a cool
is
name.
all
but
of his
whoa,
personality.
Just jump straight on the D.
So yeah, I mean, you say you wait for morning, so you wait for morning. He sort of, I guess, pleads his case to everybody. He's like, look, this isn't something that we wanted. They came over and they took over. Normally they work in a group and they keep us sort of repressed and down, and they do their own thing, and it sort of gets in the way of profits. I mean, think about it. The last, 3 or 4 things we tried to sell, they've wound up taking over. It's not good for the bottom line.
And this is to the group,
Yes.
everyone's.
This is being
Okay.
translated, however. We are translating.
Yeah.
So
Just
then
Adrian standing there.
thing.
Huh?
So if anyone else up, we just have Spore do the Spore.
Sure. I mean,
It'd still
If
need
everyone's awake,
translated
yeah, we
routes.
can just do.
21.
Well, it's like, well,
I'm gonna throw about one out there too.
not that I'm not sympathetic to what you guys are going through, but the last time we went up against your people or whatever, we got our asses kicked, and we lost someone. That's not something I'm looking to repeat again.
Look, that's just business, but that's the thing. Right now, we're in the city. You can't just fight in the city, right? You just can't. So what we're doing, we want you to come in and sort of, assassinate him. And that way, that happens. Nobody else has to get involved. Even if he wanted to command us, he couldn't command us.
My question to you is then, or I guess I'd be posing this at Adrian, to tell whoever this dude is.
No, we're using Spore now.
Well, I can't use Spore.
Oh yeah, that sucks for you.
So I said she still
Can
needs
you do
comfort.
anything that will make our job easier? Because if you want us to do this for you, I mean, one, we're probably going to need some serious coin. You're gonna have to help us make this as easy as possible. Because we can't do it alone. Because it's a giant bloodbath like last
Well, yeah,
time.
but that's what I'm saying. It won't be like last time. If we're in the city, we just can't like fight. You can't brawl. You just can't. So we're there. We'll keep him in the city. We'll I don't know, make a plan and we'll get him, like alone or something when he's sleeping. You all bust in, out of nowhere and just chop 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 chop, and problem solved. And yeah.
How do you feel?
I
How do you
understand.
feel about poison? Does he have any food tasters?
I mean, we're demons. You can't poison us.
Is this where the alchemist walks in laughing maniacally?
No,
that's what I was just
unfortunately,
thinking.
as of this point, she has not figured out anything.
What do you mean you just can't fight in the city? Is there rules against it, or is
Yes.
there
like
actual...
you can't fight in the city. That's one of the decrees made by Welshaw. I mean, you can't go against it.
Okay, and who is that?
Oh,
And also, does that apply to us? Or does it just apply to you because we're outsiders?
We're not brawling, we are Caesaring.
there might be some sort of legal...
Oh, so what happened with the 21 versus 11?
Oh, yeah,
Well, if that
he
changes,
seems to be telling the truth.
Okay.
Like, he really does want you to, kill this. He seems to be on the up and up.
It
Someone
has to be in a
wisdom better than
bathhouse.
4, please. Sort of insight checking.
Who's
it.
what?
Yeah, I can make an insight.
There you
I
go.
made
Thank
the
you.
insight.
What is that insight against?
That's just to him talking about the rules and stuff.
Yeah, I'll double check him during that.
That's sweet +8 versus my +4. Thank you.
Well, Welshaw, he's the demon lord of the city. I mean, and one of his things is he's trying to set it up to be trade, so you can't, get into full fights around the city, or else, you gotta.
Do you
So
know if
we
he still
risked it.
has the
What are
gear
the laws
that he
on
took off of our
assassinate?
compatriots?
Oh well, yeah, it's in the city. It's being sold now, but I mean, it probably won't be sold yet. I mean, that's the thing, Look, I'm willing to get, if it was yours, I'll cut you we'll cut you a special super discounted price on it, and we'll hook you up. It'll be good.
The super discounted price, like we get it back and we get 10% of everything else.
I don't
10%?
think that's
15%?
somehow even worse.
I don't know.
Well,
20%.
I guess the way I see it, you're coming to us with this proposition. This is something that possibly I don't think that we need to even do. You're asking us to do you a service. Can you ask anyone else to do this? You have to weigh whether or not this is something you actually want.
Well, yeah, and,
Yeah.
it's something we want, and I guess there's other. We could ask, but I mean, we know you can do it, and so you are our first choices because we have a history with each other. We're friends.
To go that far, buddy.
Well, look, I mean, everything else that happened was
Okay.
pretty much just business. You know, you can't let business get in the way of things.
Another note, you realize people that aren't from hell don't actually have souls to trade for other souls?
Sorry, what?
People that aren't from the abyss don't have souls to buy stuff with?
Well, sure. Like, I mean, well, then this is perfect because we can get you some souls, and you can help buy some souls and all that. Like, look, I try not to judge people. You can't just assume every person that comes into the abyss is poor. That's, you know, that's racist.
I think the term's actually elitist.
Speciesist.
Classist.
What does,
No,
what do
They
the
work-
NPCs
they work
think?
off two different currencies, so wouldn't it be currencyist?
Well, although
You're not an NPC.
I'm not an assassin, I do like the idea of being paid.
What are the,
I
what's
like the
hard?
idea of getting our stuff
We're-
back.
We're heading towards the city.
Hart says
anyway.
very plainly, you need to find out what's what before you agree to anything. Like, you can't just say you're going to do this when, for all you know, you do this. A demon lord is going to teleport behind you and murder you for doing such a thing.
I was kind of thinking that too, just see.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah, no,
we
I'm,
risk pissing off a literal king of demons. Do we really want to piss off a king of demons?
Like, it's still possible. You could wait for it to be out of the city. You could lure it out or something like that. But you just can't say yes without finding out what's what.
I say we'll give it some thought when we get there. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I mean, you're broken free. Why not just stab him when he's out?
Well, yeah, but, I mean, have you seen me compared to him?
But you can't die.
I mean, it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt.
What creature was he in possession of?
The Hezro?
The Hezro.
Ezra.
The Hezru. That's the bird one,
No,
right?
No,
that's
that's
the other one.
tank.
No, the bird ones.
That's the big beefy one.
It was the one that was using the Holderkin.
Ah, yes. Well,
Well, let's call a huddle so we don't talk in front of this guy. And, just let's agree to it. Go forth, and if it doesn't look good, we'll slit this guy's throat instead.
But he can't die.
Doesn't, yeah, but it still hurts.
yeah, they also seem pretty well good with the whole let bygones be bygones things. I mean, we've killed
Until they
them
stab you
multiple
in the back.
times, and they constantly want to do dealings with the party.
Until they stab you in the back again. No
And
deal,
don't
no
you know,
promises.
This way we can get Guts's pipes back and some of the other stuff back, and
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I would. That would be nice, but I don't know if that's necessarily something like. I guess I'm just worried that this isn't going to be an easy job. That
No.
we're going to go into it figuring that we're just going to slit his throat,
No,
for
that's
lack
what
of a
we
better
have.
word.
That's what we have the our new compatriots for, ammo fodder.
No deals,
Our
no
new
promises.
buddies.
Yeah, our
Yeah, no
new
deals, no
sacrificial
promises.
lambs.
It works out. It works
Hart
out.
would definitely
yeah.
speak up and give you a very cold glance, like, we are not cannon fodder.
Half of this is out of character.
I didn't realize he
course,
was with us.
Not you, Hart.
I assumed you
Not
said you
Hart, but like
huddled,
Club
so.
Club Zub Dub and
Yeah, Tadpole did say that we huddle up, so I could see that like fully we get away from ourselves, or you guys get away from yourselves talking away about it, and then me and Hart are there like, bruh.
Bruh.
Yeah, so I say let's go for it. I mean, and if it doesn't look good, we can turn on them. We can slit this other guy's throat. We can say, screw this. We can. I mean, there's no contract being signed, as far as I can tell.
Let us get to the city first, see what we're dealing with, and then we can make contact with... What's his name again? I zoomed out. Sutina. How will we find you in the cities? Oh, wait. Grumcat's gone. That's right.
I kind of want to go get some lunch, but it's probably going to take more than 10 minutes. I don't know how much time we have.
Put your vote in now, Adrian, and then you can go get lunch. What do you want to do?
No, fuck the Babao.
So we got one vote for fuck the Babao, lewdness.
What do you think? Fuck the Babao. I don't know. I like the idea, like, out of character, I like the idea of getting my fucking equipment back, but I don't trust them to not be leading us into a trap.
Yeah, out of character, both out of character and in character, like, I have no issue doing it. I can see us profiting from it, but at the same time, Admiral Akbar was really onto something when he screamed it's a trap.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, can we get this in writing?
I think
They're not devils, they're demons.
Yeah, I think if we keep our heads on our shoulders and don't jump into it like we did with our last altercation with these guys, we should be okay. Like, if we do this as an actual assassination as opposed to, you know, us basically kicking in the doors of the city and being like, sup bitches, we came here to stab this guy.
Like our usual
That was my plan.
Doing
Like,
it.
let's change up our usual plan of where the big dick's swinging.
You hear that, Guts? You're the big dick swinging.
Yeah, I really am.
Well, she does have quite a few bones.
Yeah, we're in the bone zone now.
Oh, boner.
What about...
I mean, listen, writing, not that I think that they... Can we make them, you think?
I mean...
Like, if he's some...
And we could always,
turn your
why
back
don't
on
we
us
try to
after
set
signing this.
Let's set a trap. We know he loves slaves. You know, we are here as slave traders. Look at all these slaves we're bringing with us.
That's a good
But
point.
to set that up, though, it seems like we would have to get rid of our equipment, and I feel, or at least hide it, and I feel like that might be a little difficult.
Oh, we could. No, we just have it there and underneath a light bit of dirt or dead bugs or whatever.
What if we use the don't know?
What's that?
Our new hirelings, them as, like, let's say the slavers, they have our equipment when the time comes.
You're breaking up a little bit,
And-
kind of like a robot here and there.
Here, give me a sec. My connection might be bad. We use the hirelings.
That's what I'm saying. We use them as quote unquote slaves.
I was saying
No,
us.
we're not. No.
I would
No,
say
no,
we do the opposite. Like they don't know us, or they don't know them, so we are technically the slaves. They pass our equipment off to us.
No.
And
yeah, I don't
No?
like separating with our equipment again. I
No.
just see that
No.
going
Just go to the thing. Why do we have to? Don't even make any deals with them. Let's actually see what the hell the city is for.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's
scout it out first.
get to the city, do what we were already doing, and if everything falls into place that we can actually go through with this, then we'll find Sutina again and be like, yo,
Okay.
where's your boy at?
Okay, so we keep it on the back burner. Maybe we just send a couple people in to actually do.
Now that Grimm's half dead, I can ask this. The grounders like actual bugs, right?
Yes.
Like they're living creatures.
Yes.
Cool. I've got the perfect scouting chance then, because I can just turn into the ground.
Yes.
He is a creeper.
So once we actually get to the city, I can just turn into one of the pieces of the ground, see what.
Maybe. Technically, they are demonic.
Ah, okay, so they don't count as beasts or anything.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, I can polymorph.
Yeah, well, there you go for that.
There's plenty of ways that I can move through the city in a nondescript fashion to scout and everything. And I'm sure, doesn't Adrian have advanced invisibility, or is it just the normal invisibility spell? He may have gone to get his lunch.
No, I have normal.
Oh, okay. Well, even then, normal's still not terrible, considering we won't be stealing
It only
anything.
lasts,
What was that?
it only lasts like a minute or two. It's a combat
damn.
spell.
Yeah.
Regular lasts for an hour.
Yeah, well, regular will be plenty, because we won't be attacking while we're scouting, and we won't be stealing shit and everything like that. So I think between Adrian's magic, mine and Spore's shifting, and I could see Whisper possibly being pretty sneaky in a place like this. We should be able to do... Oh, and we've got Zul, who is literally an assassin.
Oh, true.
I think we would have a good chance at the assassination, but I still think that we should do the whole just keep to our original plan, go see the city in the first place, and then if things line up that we can do this.
Yeah, let's keep it on the back burner and scout things out first. Who knows, we might find ourselves in over our heads.
Yeah, I mean, we might get to the city and, like, Demon King is the city, or something like that. Like, it may just be completely invalid that we even go within 10 miles of the city.
Very true.
Was Satina, like, going to go back to the city themselves and then we go find them later, or were they going to come with us?
They had wanted you to come with them.
Yeah, I don't like that. I think we should make separate paths and then catch up with them later on if we can / need to.
Well, I kind of think the opposite. I mean, I'm okay doing the other, but if we go with them, A, we get to pick their brains a bit. B, we have somebody that actually knows their way around. And it looks like we're stronger than they are at this moment.
But to be fair, he did say what's his face can control demons. He's in the city of demons now too. If
Yeah.
he's not leading this trap, he's gonna have more people. We
He
trusted
also
them
said
about
he can't
twice.
control
They
that
fucked us.
many at the
Let's
same
not trust
time.
them a third time.
I'm not saying trust them. I'm saying use them.
Last two times we even followed them, they fucked us over. Kill the Babao.
To be fair, I think you guys were the aggressors on 2 out of 3 of those
Yeah,
occasions.
Literally both
We
times,
almost-
so they said, "Oh,
almost
finally, the
threw it.
fight's beginning." They were already planning to ambush us. Made it really clear.
Yeah.
Almost 3.
Yeah, well, fool me once, shame on you, on me. Fool me 3 times, just kill me.
Do we have, like, a way to give him ascending spell? Like,
What?
can Adrian make a scroll of sending or anything like that? Or would that take too long?
Not long, too much money.
gimme, 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 gimme,
Ah.
gimme, 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 gimme.
He would.
I guess ultimately the question for now is, do we go with Sutina or do we go on our own? We've got one vote each way with me and Tadpole. What do you other three think?
I say we pass up for now, but think about it. Because I'm not impartial to it. Because I would like a chance to get my equipment back. I mean, some of that was some very expensive stuff.
Yeah.
But overall, I don't trust these demons. I trust them as far as I can throw them, and I can't throw very far.
I think we're all in agreement on that part.
You know, after a while of
Yeah, no, I'm-
debating, and again, I don't think quite everybody's here, but you know, Hart would speak up. And, you know, City know you don't follow them, you don't trust them. Sure, maybe take their job, but make a plan to meet them somewhere else at a later time. Don't just blindly start following them.
Yeah, I fully agree with Hart. Like, in character and out of character.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on following him. Like,
No, that's
That's
what
why
I
I
was
wanted
kind
to
of
bring
leaning
him
toward
back
as
to-
well.
So we will meet him
Use
at
'em.
Demon City.
Ask it where you can get into contact with it, and then tell it you'll meet it somewhere else later. Don't.
Yeah. I knew there was a reason you and I got along, Hart.
So what's the plan? Is there a plan?
Sounds like
I believe the plan
That sounds like the plan.
is to
Let's
continue.
tell him to meet
Yeah.
us. We'll meet him at a place in the city, and then when we get to the city, we'll find our own place, and we'll send someone who can't get trapped to tell him, hey, come meet us at this other place, because we don't trust your place.
He looks very exasperated.
We're not telling him that.
Yeah, we're not telling him
Well,
that.
but I mean,
You keep taking out of character context, and the NPCs keep chiming. We're not even talking to
you
anybody.
tell him you're not following him, though.
Ah, yeah.
Are we right?
Yeah, no, but the way you said it, it sounded like you
No.
meant he heard that whole bit about we don't trust you, so we're gonna tell you to meet us here and
No.
then take you somewhere else. Yeah.
And it's exasperated that you aren't going to follow him. And you've seen what they do, and they look to argue. Yes. And attempt to persuade you with its sort of boneheadedness that you've seen before, but eventually, it gets the hint and it goes along with you and goes, well, fine. You get word to me somehow at the pole, and we'll figure something out. Just when you're doing it, though, you got to make sure you're not seen by anybody else from him or from them or anything like that. Do you understand?
I think that had already been our plan.
All right. I mean, you got to be sneaky beaky like.
I totally want one of us to just appear out of invisibility behind him, and be like, "Yo, we're here. We ain't been seen."
But eventually, he does go off. If there's anything else you have for him at the end, now's the time to say it.
Out of character, when we finally get out of here, I want to find out how to I'm gonna get the summon demon spells. I'm gonna make magic circles. I'm gonna keep doing that ritual conjuration quest from Skyrim. I just keep summoning him over and over again until he tells me his true name.
Just him. Like that one in particular, or just anyone?
Yes, just that one.
Please stop it. All right, so the city is still about 2 days away. If we are beelining for it, we can do so. It is not very eventful, to be very frank. There are lots of things coming from the city, or presumably from the city. You know, they're coming from the direction we are going in. But not a whole lot of things going towards it. Our compass is certainly pointing towards the way of the city, and Sutina would have, you know, very firmly told you what direction to head for the city. So you do know, or at least guess very strongly, that the two things correspond with each other. Eventually, you get to the town, tiny little town, of Wellshaw.
Wellshaw? That's a nice name.
It is a nice name. There are no roads leading to / from Wellshaw because of sort of the nature of the things. But it is sort of the way it is. It's sort of a ramshackle setup of... Not exactly ramshackle, because that's a different connotation, but it's sort of made from odds and ends. Yeah, you know, you haven't seen much in the way of wood or anything like that, but it is sort of made from some... possibly strange metal or something like that. Certainly something you've never seen before. The buildings tend to be kind of cobbled together out of whatever. And as you are walking into the streets, you do see sort of a cornucopia of different demons and different demon types than anything that you've really ever seen. Lots of mains. But the other one tend to be sort of a different type of demon than you have seen before. And I'm just going to change the name real quick. Which is sort of a main plus. You know, it's got a little bit more to it than your typical main, but it's not too far off from what you've seen before. And as you're going into the city, you're actually stopped by sort of a group of these little things. And we'll just... Oh, I actually can't pull it over. And then this is... Stop! Don't move there. Don't come in. Who are you? What's your business here in Wellshaw?
We've come to trade.
Trading what? And they sort of...
Goods, wares, people, whatever your city has.
Oh,
Whatever you're in need
so
of.
you're coming to buy
Yeah.
rather than sell.
Yes, we heard that, is it Wellshaw?
He sort of glances towards what if he were looking from the sky. You could tell it would be the castle district, but at this time you kind of don't exactly know what it is. And like, yes, this is the great town of Wellshaw. It gives you sort of a pained look, as it were.
Well, we heard it's the closest thing to a trading hub in the area.
Well, you're pretty right. Closest, biggest thing. I take it you lot are from that new place down there.
We've been around it, yes.
So that's a yes? You're from there?
We're from all over. Some are from there, some are from here, some are from over there.
Right.
All over the place.
Fine.
place.
Be that way. Look, don't cause any trouble, or else, Shaw will ask you some questions about the trouble.
Yeah,
was
what
really-
are the
I was hoping he was going to try flex on us. I was going to be like, nah, boy.
The
You're right, let's throw down.
I do want to ask him, like, yeah, what are I gesture towards like the whole city? What are the rules here? Do you have rules?
Yeah, there are some rules. No, weapons out, no being used, certainly. Unless, of course, it's within, sanctioned arena or anything like that. Shaw kind of sees that as a personal affront, so, just sort of bite it back in unless, you want a demon lord to get very personally angry at you. And look, look at you. You're all pink and flashy. Well, you're mostly pink. I mean, not all of you. But either way, that's probably not something you want.
I think we've got 2 out of 50 are humans.
Yes, but they're very pink.
You said arenas? Do you have places where I can test my metal? Possibly win something?
Oh, well, sure. I mean, yeah, look, it's the biggest building. You just follow it on in, lots of things are settled that way, disputes, whatever, arguments, sort of a more, and he takes this look on like he's trying to directly quote somebody in a not so flattering way. It is a tool designed for the people to get their feelings out without actually destabilizing the security of the city as a whole.
Well done.
Yes, but can I
Yeah,
gamble
clap.
on?
Gamble? Knock yourself out.
Do both parties have to be agreeable to this, or can one challenge the other and the other's required to come?
No, I mean,
If there's agreement.
you got to agree to it. You can't.
So how does one settle a grievance if the other party doesn't agree
Well,
and stay within the rules?
He's like, that's way over
Could you brawl
my head.
over
Don't I just work
agreeing
here?
to
This is a
brawl?
Wendy's.
I mean, like if you challenge someone for something and they don't accept your challenge, then I mean you win.
Oh, okay.
If the other
So they don't-
party forfeits, then I mean,
You automatically win.
yeah.
Okay, let's go
That's
challenge.
good to know.
So
Are
who
the
thinks I could run
Matches
day
to
one
the
ahead?
death, or
I mean, they can be. I mean, that's usually a good way to win an argument.
that is, most certainly.
Okay, Rick, you know what you're gonna do now. Go find a Hazrat.
Yeah, so who thinks I can 1v1 Hezra?
Not I.
I mean-
that
I'd like to see it.
silence.
I would
that
like to see it.
silence is
I mean,
kinda would like to.
he's.
I'll ask the thing at the gate before we head in. Is there some form of inn, tavern, or I guess
Are you
camping grounds?
Yeah. Just head over to the Horn and whatnot, and they'll I guess sort of
Where's the horn?
Well, look, you just head on in a couple of buildings. There's some pillars out front. It's hard to miss. Sort of a weird shape. But, look,
We can know when we
I
see
gotta be straight with you. We're not really used to, what do you might call it? The,
Immigrants?
yeah, sure. I mean, I would have probably chosen a different word, like mortals, but, sure, whatever.
Let's test your mortality. I don't think we've stepped foot in the city quite yet.
Oh my
Well, I mean, I'm in the city. I mean, you're not in the city.
So on that note, say someone shanks me in an alley. Do I have to report the crime? Does the Lord automatically know? Some magic? Am I allowed to shank him
I
back?
don't really like that question.
Oh, hey, I just want to make sure I don't get shanked in dark alleyways, you know?
Look, all right. Let me put this
I have
to
to
you
report, like, if
like
he,
this.
I point to the ogre, if he just punches me, do I have to report him? Is there, like, a law enforcement I have to report
Like,
to?
if the great
Or do I
Lord
hear, like,
Welshaw is paying attention, you know, he'll be the one asking you questions.
Okay.
These guys seem very racist.
I would like to ask him,
I'm gonna walk through the gate.
are there any, do you know of any places here that, you know, might catch an eye for a towner?
You broke up a little bit there. I can't.
What would you think?
What?
We're having
Never
a real
mind.
hard time understanding your guts.
I don't even know what I was asking.
You were breaking up a lot during it, too.
No, I mean,
Look, you're looking for any, like, attractions? I mean, look, there's a big pole set up. That's usually where trade goes around. You can head over there. I mean, look, you can't miss it. Just, you know, look for the crucified demon.
Nice. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Anytime.
All right, let's go secure some lodging.
Yep.
I kind of like the idea of maybe challenging this Sold in the arena.
In the arena.
Yeah.
I would imagine it'd be one-on-one fights though, so like it'd be
Tadpole could take him.
No, I
probably
didn't
actually
say
Tadpole would just kite the shit out of him.
that. Who could kite is our little NPC, the little quickling.
Yeah, Quickling would be good at it too.
She'd die in one hit, though.
Oh,
Even
yeah,
I
she'd be
might possibly be
obliterated.
able to cut.
is this better for now?
Possibly.
If I'm
Currently, 3 words or 4 words doesn't really give much of a median to know from though.
So
Yeah, it's here and there. It's really
that
spotty
is
right now.
not better.
Yeah, it's not like- It is not better.
Yeah.
I am sorry to say.
The issue with Hasbro, if you fight him head on, he has multi attacks more than you do, so you have to make sure he misses or be able to out tank. But I'm pretty sure you could probably do more concise hits against him. You can drop him pretty easily.
Who's that?
I'm talking to Rick.
Mm,
Because you have slightly better armor and you do have rage. What's your HP at?
I have a total of 82.
How? How do I have more HP than you? What the hell?
Well, I mean,
My unchanged form has 84 HP, and then I've got my wild
we
shapes.
roll for HP, so you
Better,
know.
better rolls.
Yeah,
Must have
you can
been.
get unlucky.
Yeah, I've got 82 hit points.
Yeah, I think-
Constitution of +2.
You've got the
Yeah,
same
I've
as
got-
a kobold.
I've got Constitution of 4.
That'll do it.
I'm pretty healthy.
On that note, once we get into the town, out of sight slightly a bit, I'm gonna make myself a demon now.
To mean into a demon?
Just gonna false aura.
Do
To
we know-
change the way the target appears to spells magical effects, such as detect magic. No wait, mask. You change the way the target appears to certain spells, magical effects that detect creature types, such as the paladin's divine sense or the trigger of a spell. So, I'm a demon. I'm fiendish now.
I mean, only
Paladin
can-
smelled me, they'd smell
Thanks.
brimstone.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted
Do
to
most demons have true sight? Do you know?
Most?
Some do,
Not
most don't, I
most.
think. A handful. If even.
Alright, so we are here at the very sort of edge of the city. Reg will be our token because he is the first person on the list.
He's a good boy.
Is he? The way things are sort of separated, color-coded, sort of like residential in things where there are lodgings and whatnot, or sort of this orangey red color, sort of a nobility type thing, specialist goods, things that are actually created in this city are sort of this, you know, pink. It's not exactly pink, but you know, it's pinking up, and sort of things that are selling things are around this
How
third.
is that? It's purple.
Like sort of maybe a very muted fuchsia.
Mauve.
Oh. Do we want to find some lodging first, although we don't exactly have quote unquote money for said lodging?
Yeah, I imagine probably souls is what they use for currency.
Yeah, that's why I
Got
said
you
we
got
don't
any spare
really-
souls lying around?
She's got one massive one.
And one little one.
Oh yeah. How because I assume, like, even though it's a demon city, it's still a city, so there'd be people on the streets, or demons on the streets and
Yes.
stuff like that. How are they reacting to us? Like,
Stairs.
are we
Open
getting nasty
stairs?
looks?
Oh yeah. Demons are generally not happy, pleasant folk. They are typically not given to subtlety if they dislike you, and they generally don't dislike you. You will know within the first several minutes of meeting them, and they will be doing something about it. Now, the demons we have met are sort of on the atypical side of things. But the citizens are more typical. You know, they aren't actually doing anything because, well, that happens to be sort of a thing that happens in Welshaw. But yes, they are not happy nor excited to see these somewhat strange visitors.
I'm going to all of a sudden start looking very high and mighty about myself as I walk through the streets. Just confidence. Just lead it.
Okay.
And where are we going first, guys? Did Rick want to go check out the arena and see if he can get into a scrap and win some souls? That might actually be a good idea if we can. Is it? I mean, I guess we didn't really ask about it, but how far away is the arena? Like, can we see it? Is it like a Coliseum thing, or is it more of like a Morrowind?
He said it was the
on it?
It's
biggest
this large
building.
building in the center.
So I was going to say, so I'm guessing it's that large one at the center, which we would be able to see from up there.
You know, it's not a huge thing by any means.
Well, I reckon we
It's
need.
only like 100
Yeah,
meters
the
away,
town
though.
itself is not, you know, huge.
I reckon we need some currency, no matter what. So we should go check out if it's more of like a Coliseum. You can sign up for fights and win some coin or win some souls, or if it's more of like a Morrowind, Hilalu arena with, you know, it's basically just for honor and stuff like that.
Guts can also bet on me with her souls if anyone's like, if she actually wants to wager her souls, like, because then if I die, we obviously lose me and the soul.
Yeah. I mean, we can revive. The souls is a loss. But I think that would be what I would push for. Would be finding some way to get some currency, because we can't be here for trading and not be able to trade.
We operate exclusively on the barter system.
Yes, let us barter with all of our personal belongings. So, everyone happy with that?
I think it's our really only choice.
I personally kind of like that idea, but that is because I am the one that will be in the arena. But like, whatever, like, if anyone else is like, that's gonna be boring, then, you know.
Well, there'd probably be like group fights and stuff like that.
Well, maybe if we could arrange one of those, that would be cool.
And that's what this campaign turns into, just us becoming kings of the demon arena.
I mean, it is not something I would have expected, but so does anyone object? Does anyone one?
I think that's a good plan, actually.
Guts, Adrian, happy with that?
Sure.
Plot twist: the Grand Master of the arena in Oblivion is actually Grimgo Rash. I don't have it in front of me, so I can't.
The fact that you got that far into the name, and I'm pretty sure you got it right that far into the name, is amazing.
So we make our way towards the building that has been designated to us as the arena, and it's not really a large building at all. It's more definitely a sort of smaller, sort of open area. There are several rather small, like rings open in the area. There's about 4 of them set up, of varying sizes. None very big, none of them more than, a couple of feet across. And there's sort of a queue, as it were, a line of people, almost for each ones. There's bookies, and there's quite a large crowd. It looks like whatever is for entertainment and for one of the drawing attractions of the city, this is it. People are sort of giving you sort of, again, less than happy stares. They're sort of mumbling amongst themselves. For the most part, you are larger, and this is sort of a universal you, than the typical denizen you've ever seen, or at least the most numerous. Mains, of course, are pretty numerous, and they're sort of walking around stupor, followed by this other demon that we've seen that I think I gave you a handout for. Maybe I didn't.
Possibly. Give it to us again.
Yeah, I gave it to you again.
Yes, no, we did not get this
Okay. Well, that's typically what the more sort of common citizen looks like. And again, they're sort of giving you stares and snarls. Those of you who can translate the language know that they're sort of hurling insults and curses at you just from seeing you.
Why does it look like they be stealing Duke Nukem's babes?
Sometimes you gotta steal a babe.
Yeah. Well,
Let's
shall
approach
we just-
one of the bookies.
yeah. Let's see how this works. Does there look like there's a ringleader or some sort of overseer of the arenas, or is it just basically like, this is Fight Club? You can talk about Fight Club.
Each separate ring does look like it has an overseer. While a match is going on, pretty much all of their concentration is on the match. And then when the thing reaches its inevitable conclusion, which it sure looks like death is more the inevitable conclusion more often than not. These are demons. They have certain urges and needs, and killing is one of those natural urges and needs to a demon.
Are there
I
spells?
kind of relate to that.
Are there spells? Like, can we see spells being used and things like shifting and stuff like that, or is it basically like martial ability?
Looks more like martial ability than anything.
Yeah. So this is on you, Rick. Go find a overseer and see what's
it-
what.
Does it look like I would get in trouble for... actually, no, I'll just ask about the rules before I actually get in. Yeah, I would like to ask someone about how I get into a fight in the...
Via Adrian, I assume.
Like, who are you talking to? Are
Uh,
you just talking to the random Joe Schmo in line? Because if you do, you get sort of a very stupid, what do you mean, how do I get into a fight? Are you simple? You just get into a fight with somebody. Do you really need to be told how to pick a fight?
Alright, that's it.
Whoever he said that to, do it with them. Just pick them up and drag them into a arena and be like, "Hey, you made it."
Good. Probably, as maybe thinking about talking to a bookie, but since you said that about talking to someone in the line, I'm just gonna ask them if they would like to fight.
He sort of sizes you up and sizes you down. And, you tower over him by several feet, and he goes, "No, I'm good," and sort of turns back around.
I didn't,
Yeah, that shut up those evil glares, didn't it?
I didn't realize he was that small.
How tall is he?
He's more your height, so if it's somewhere around 2.5 feet or so.
Oh wow, so they're small, like
They
halflings,
vary a
like,
little bit, but
okay.
yeah, they're not large. They're not, like medium in size. They're small in size.
You know, I was picturing like humanoid size, but
Are they using weapons in the?
2 are not.
Arena? Okay.
Is it like the fighting rings to the fighting rings you can use?
I didn't hear what you said. You kind of broke up there towards the end.
yeah.
I said, is that like two of the fighting rings you can use weapons in, and to...
Presumably, yes. I mean, like, weapons are being used in 2. Weapons are not being used in 2. Eventually,
Well, I mean, I can try
Okay.
to get into a fight in the unarmed arena.
Oh yeah, you blitz.
I'd yeah, still be looking around, sort of trying to, I mean, talk to officials about it, or just trying to get someone to want to fight.
I would like for folks to make a perception check. Whomever. We are looking for, 22 beats it so well that we probably don't even need anymore. There are at least 1 or 2 of the Babao there at the arena. They are not fighting, they are sort of observing. You don't think you've been seen at this point, but they're there.
Do they look like the same Babao that we have had
I mean,
dealings
they
with?
kind of look like all the same.
Okay. So I guess I'm going to go up to one of the ringleaders,
Mhm.
or the ones that I can see they're doing unarmed conflict, and tug on his shirt. Excuse me, you speak the glorious common language instead of this barbaric demon language?
While the match is going, he doesn't pay any attention to you and sort of vaguely sort of puts his hand up behind him to sort of like shove you off. Not like, shove you off.
Can I get him into an arm lock while he does that?
No.
You could?
Please, no.
Just want to get his attention.
We will probably just leave you if you.
Yeah, like, I'm not one for abandoning party members, but if you arm lock one of the overseers in front of literally a crowd of demons, I don't know you.
I'm flying.
Okay, I guess discretion's the better part of valor here. I'll wait till the thing ends.
The match is over. It doesn't last too long. It was just sort of one of the rarer ones that does not happen to end in death. And he sort of looks at you and he shouts something at you, which later gets translated to back to the end of the line. I don't have time for you. You got to wait your turn like everybody else.
Okay.
Damn, waiting.
I'll go get to the back of the line then. How long is the line?
The line, as I mentioned, is fairly long. Relatively speaking, for something like a fight that could last, 10 minutes. But you're looking about 10 people, or 10 groups, rather, in line. Because, it's pretty obvious when... Because generally what happens in this line, like, there are two people... Again, people sort of facing each other, just hurling obscenities and insults at each other in the line, patiently queuing while screaming at each other.
This
Could
is an actual anomaly of a place, isn't it?
I talk to the first people in the line for one of the fights and be like, hey, can I jump in your guys' fights and you two fight me instead of fighting each?
You're asking if one of them would want you to take their place?
No. That both of them in the fight against me. Because they're all small people.
That's how Rick died.
I think most of them are, like, sorting out their own personal issues.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but if they have a common enemy, it might be better for them to sort out their issue.
You get turned down, like, for the most part. People, again, are sorting out their own grievances and whatnot. Somebody would flag you down for it, though. And be like, hey, you can fight for me. Look, I'll even pay you.
so they're our champion.
Ah, yes.
Who is he fighting though?
I would like to get paid.
I didn't hear what you said, Adrian. You kind of cut off.
Make sure you know who he's fighting, so you don't have to fight a pit fiend.
Yeah.
No, it would be one of the small ones, and you like, look, if you win, I'll give you 5 for it.
You give me 5. 5 sounds good.
Next minute 5 is like he basically spitting in
A
your
nipple.
hand.
Yeah.
Not enough for a
Well, you probably
fucking-
just one kick it, so.
Yeah, that's a point.
All I'm doing is fighting for him.
Are there group fights?
No one that
Right.
you have seen has fought as a group yet.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, was like we probably haven't seen any straight off the bat, but if we spent some time watching while we're waiting for Rick to get into a fight or something like that. Oh. Go Rick, go to a fight.
Yeah. Speaking of waiting for me to get in a fight, I would probably take the offer of 5.
So you would go to take his offer. And sort of what happens is that the little one who you would be against sort of sizes you up, sizes you down. He goes, I'm out. You're right.
I win. There's my 5.
Easiest 5 souls ever.
and he sort of reaches into a strange sort of pouch. It's not like the pouch that Guts has. It's definitely more sort of a like leathery type pouch. You know, not exactly leathery, but you know, certainly much more quote unquote polished than sort of Guts's fleshy amalgamation of, you know, things. And he sort of reaches in and he pulls out a handful of somethings. He shoves it at your chest and then sort of, you know, watches these wisps sort of float away out of your grasp.
Guts.
Yeah, I was going to
I was
say.
gonna yell at Guts. Like, I was totally gonna try and get Guts over here, because I don't have any way of storing the souls, but I know Guts does.
Is Guts even online right
Guts
now?
is having some
Yeah, she
issues.
is.
She's typing instead of talking.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
can we sort out getting Guts over here?
Give me an acrobatics. No, give me a sleight of hand check, Guts.
A slight
Sleight of
handshake.
hand.
Yeah, hold on, wait a second, because
I'm pretty
just-
sure he
I'm
said
kinda
Guts
lucky.
Anyway.
I
Didn't you
did
say
say
Guts,
Guts.
roll
Yeah, I
it?
said Guts.
Yeah.
I didn't.
She's
I
the
didn't
one
hear
jumping
that. That's
around
my
the
bad.
air with a
Yeah.
net.
That's a mad.
Oh my god.
It's better
Probably
than
makes
4.
no souls out of that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
And you cut out, Adrian. You said I'm gonna, and then that was it.
Just gonna fly over with the dragon and just hold my bag of holding above the souls so they just float into it. Does that work?
Is that a thing that you do?
I mean, I can fly over with the dragon and just scoop them up if that's an option, yeah.
All right.
Give a sleight of hand.
Can I watch with the groups and see if I can see anybody picking pockets?
Let me
You
get.
know, looking for. You know what I'm talking about? Just kind of watching the group, see if I can recognize anybody that might be the seedy underbelly of an all seedy underbelly
Yeah,
city.
give me a perception check. So between Guts and Adrian, you do manage to grab like 3 of the souls, and you've sort of kept them and are keeping them in sort of a weird way, but you got them. Tadpole, your group is making a big distraction and deal of themselves. You know, we're cutting into the front of the line, we're fighting for people, we're taking over things, we're flying above the heads of, you know, 3 feet tall beings for the most part. We are big and we are large and we are very noticeable. We're like tourists. Like American tourists.
Oh,
But yes, you do also know
we're
that there
just
is definitely
throwing
sort of
money away.
a seedy city. Yeah, and you're literally throwing money away. It might not be something you're intending to do, but it is something that has happened. There's not so much of like the picking pocket variety of crime going on in the city, but you know, there's definitely sort of what looks like, or you would assume to be, less than legal betting. You know, everyone has their own sort of side bets and things going on. It looks like there might even be some sort of cheating involved in some of these fights. You notice some sort of like presumably poisons or things go on weapons if you're looking for long enough.
but diamonds can't be poisoned, Grim.
No. I wonder what it
Also,
is they're
they're just-
putting on the weapons.
They're just passing on holy water.
Since Since I'm not as massive as Rick, would people be as opposed to fighting me? Because I'm still Dragonborn, so I'm still a reasonable size, but I'm not a big boy.
Like
Essentially, could I actually get into the arena? Because I really want to see the general strength of these things.
what sort of starts to happen is, you continue on, and the crowd is starting to disperse, and you get a lot of things that are saying, "Oh, okay, you're going to be here messing things up. Wait tomorrow. We'll fight you tomorrow."
So they want to get the right kind of counters for me.
Like you're doing this thing, you're messing things up, you're making a mockery out of our whole system. We're gonna teach you a lesson tomorrow. Just give us a little while.
You could always teach me a lesson now.
Hey, little
I'll take
pussy.
5.
Tomorrow they'll have these big, bulky, what demon?
Yeah, they're so looking for champions that might actually be able to take us.
Well, we picked the ogres as our champions. Go at it.
Well, that's the thing about demons. Is that there's always a lot of demons.
Yeah.
So, should we maybe try and find the Hezrel to challenge to a fight if we can't find anyone around the
Don't forget we were told that it's probably not a good idea to be seen coming from him and possibly even the other Babao, which we've now been noticed by the other Babao at least.
Oh yeah, we've been noticed.
Hey guys, be quiet and nondescript when you come in.
Yeah, sure.
Who wants a fight?
You guys kick the door in.
Hey, that is discreet for us.
Kick
We
the
didn't
door
fire.
down screaming.
Which one of you thinks they're hard?
Which one of you fucking midgets wants to fight me?
And then just wait, we'll have a Glabra Zoo for you tomorrow, the foamed wonder just ripping you and Glabras who have power woods, they just stun you. Multi-attack your face open.
Well, I think we should be able to get a distraction well enough if we can get these fights going tomorrow. Those, assuming Sol doesn't turn up to watch them, those might be a good chance for our little escapade. I reckon we make camp outside of the town, get in contact with Sutin, and make a plan for during all that.
Sounds
Oh
good
yeah,
to me.
how's the compass reacting? Like now we've actually reached this destination. Is it kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean styles, just spinning around backwards and forwards, or is
I
it
assume it's
still
pointing
moving?
towards
No,
the castle.
yeah,
honestly.
it's pointing like straight towards the castle.
Yeah. Oh right, of course, this demon lord. He's probably got a spark.
So he's 4 feet tall, not 3. He's 4 feet.
Yeah.
Cower before
Can
me,
we-
mortals.
You know, maybe we should go try and talk to the demon lord to find out if he is a midget. Just
Yeah, that's also what I was thinking. Is we should try and get an audience with him.
because he could be puny demon lord.
He's 3 feet tall with CO20.
Yeah, height
that
doesn't
would-
necessarily
that
correlate to
Yeah, look at Tadpole, look at the Quickling, like... That does not actually mean anything with height. That's why I kind of wanted to actually test out these whatever they is. Oh, should we? I don't think we should be rocking around the city as a massive, let's face it, army. I think we should send the hirelings / NPCs to go set up camp, maybe like a mile or two out of the city.
A heart would speak up.
We can't.
That sounds like an incredibly stupid idea.
We can't be attacked in the city. Well, within reason.
Like, if you set up outside the
hear-
city, you're just painting a gigantic target there. I think we need to
suppose
stay
so.
inside the city regardless. Like, if we're camping out on the streets, which, I mean, according to the one demon, there's no law against, I think that's better than heading out of the city.
Works for me. How about set up camp right there?
I do agree with that actually now. That Hart says that. I completely forgot about that for a second. That it's literally just inside the city that they're safest. But yeah, I don't think we should all try and go get an audience
You do or do not?
together. Don't. Like, maybe all stay in the city, but maybe not even the whole party go see him. Just in case doors get shut behind us or something like that. But I also want to hear ideas from the rest of the party about what they want to do and everything, because I just realized that I've made a lot of decisions already. And my character's literally the newest to the party.
Well, you know.
Well, I think we're all in agreement that we'll set up a camp within the city. So we'll do that. Let's see what happens throughout the evening. Yeah.
I would somewhat like to try and seek an audience, so like maybe if just me and a translator could go. I don't know. It's no big deal. I think I'm just thinking
Because
about him.
I doubt his laws extend to him. He probably only abides by them because if he wants to shut his castle doors behind us, he probably will just do it. So
Of
we have
course he
to.
will.
I mean, this is even assuming we can get an audience or he's even in the city. He might be leading one of the fucking war parties against the shifting. But is there anything else around the city people wanted to check out before we go possibly punching a demon lord in the face? Because
I
that
heard-
seems to be how a lot of our altercations end up.
I heard that the pole, I heard something about the pole and a crucified demon, so I'd probably like to check.
Well, Zydrone would probably stay at the camp.
Yeah, I believe I'm going to use the restroom real quick as well. So I will be back in just a second. I'm back.
Can you check chat? Was I correct with what I said the second part? About
That
what,
is specifically in terms of charges. That does not necessarily equate to money.
Yeah. That's why I said, like, she's got the 4 smalls, 1 large, but in terms
Right.
of the damage healing capabilities, I for some reason I have it pretty solid in my head that you said like 47
Yeah, it was a
charges or
ton.
something.
I don't remember exactly what it was anymore. And
All I can remember is I believe it was above 4.
Yeah. I know it was above 40.
yes,
For some reason.
and
I
she
had-
did use some as well, which
okay.
I know she intended
I-
to use like 4, and she wound up using 14 because she's not used to it.
Ah, yes, that's right.
But
So we don't have a lot of monies or currency souls, but we've got a lot of guts fucking shit up or healing shit up.
so
I really just want to see Guts Ark of the Covenant someone's face with that soul bag, though. That's it. We need to find demon Nazis.
But was anyone against like actually setting up in the middle of the city as a camp or anything? And I realize we might not all be here, but
No, I think we're good.
okay.
Yeah, with Hart saying what he did, and because I've come out of expeditions and have trust with him, I'd
Yeah.
take his idea as a good one.
Well, he's definitely set up something. He would want you, Adrian, to set up alarms pretty much everywhere. You're not setting up anything large, but you're finding just enough space to, you know, pop your tower up, let it go, and have at it.
The tower is the equivalent to one of those super giant RVs.
That's exactly what I have pictured.
That is pretty much our camp now. Like, if we slap Lumen's tiny hut and my castle together, it's essentially like King RV.
Man, those things are so expensive. I've looked into them before because, you know, I got a lot of free time. Those are like buying a house, though.
Yeah. That's why I didn't really like ask for other magical items on top of it. I was like, I'm happy with having a safe place that I can make and carry with me, and worst comes to worst, a portable meteor.
Right. So
Just throw it in someone's mouth. Or...
But anyway, we've sort of got some time here now. We've set up camp. Hart is willing to sort of. Ooh, I gotta change something real quick because you guys can't see this. At least I'm pretty sure I got rid of it. So who is doing what and where? Hart is willing to stay sort of in the camp. In our camp now is the center sort of circle. But who wants to do what? Like, who else? Because we've got a couple of different things and leads that we can be following and things that we can be doing as well. And by the sounds of it, you guys wanted to split up the party a little bit, and hey, I'm fine with that.
Well,
I mean,
I'm
technically, our
really
party
quite-
is huge, so, you know.
Yeah, splitting up our party doesn't have the same connotation splitting up a normal party would
Right.
have, because usually it's not just an ease for DM and players thing, it's a factor of an incomplete party is essentially just an NPC.
Yeah.
But we have less of that. I'm like really split on what I want to do / play it, because I want to stay true to the whole fact that, I mean, my person, I see them at the moment at least as essentially like an overseer for all these NPCs, because, you know, I was essentially told, take these to these guys, see which ones they want, look after them, etc. like that. But at the same time, you know, I'm still meant to be a party member and everything like that.
Right.
But I mean, Zydrone, how they would probably stay at the camp unless they were actually asked to go somewhere.
Okay, well, let's further simplify things down a little bit. There was, and you know, deal with some specifics. Rick wanted to bring some people and at least scope out, or attempt to scope out, the Demon Lord and seek an audience with him. Whom would like to come with?
I'll go with if he'd like me to, but I'm not,
Wild about the idea?
you know, urging. Yeah, but I'll, you know, I am
I
pretty
mean,
sneaky.
it's not a major priority. Like, I would need at least a translator, and like, it's really not a major priority. It's just something I want to at least.
And the reason I brought it up is I want to know what we're dealing with the Demon King. Like, is it another frog god? Is it a slutty? Is it, you know, pit fiend? Or is it just essentially a greater one of these pig boys? Because, I mean, if it's a greater pig boy, we can just basically raise the city. But I very highly doubt it's just a greater pig boy. I'm picturing more like, yeah, pit fiend or slutty or something like that.
I mean, like, a greater pig boy is still fucking pretty disastrous, because like a big pig boy demon is an elfishne, and those things aren't not.
Yeah, good point. Hey, yeah, it might even just be an elfishne. By the way, Graham, I'm gonna be really upset if we never see a slutty.
I know, you're like all about the slot.
They're fucking awesome. Who
It's
does
like his favorite, man. He never shuts up.
No, like, honestly, slutty are probably one of my favorite D&D creatures ever.
Pretty sure they're like outsiders too. They're like weird, not necessarily demons.
No, they're not. They
Creatures
exist
of
in
lumber.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, they plane travel often enough, and they like to cause havoc and mayhem.
So, Guts, you moved yourself into the staying at home. Is that because you would like to stay at home?
I think
If
she just saw
Adrian
you
doesn't
putting
want
all
to
of
come,
that.
I would ask Spore if they.
And then Adrian, what would you like to?
I'm gonna help set up the camp. I don't feel like meeting a demon lord today.
Okay.
I would ask Spore if they would like to come.
Oh no, I lost Spore.
The demon lord might be offended that you put spores on him. Why don't you take someone that can speak it? Or better yet, hold on.
Oh, because you're staying there.
Well,
Some people speak it.
he should be able to cast comprehend languages on you before you leave. He doesn't have to stay within the range the whole time.
Tongues is only a 1 hour spell.
Mid-conversation, it just turns into babbling.
Crap.
Ah, you've got tongues, dude.
Comprehend only lets you comprehend that, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tongues is both ways.
I very highly doubt I have, but have I heard any of them speaking primordial?
No.
Yeah, I didn't really think so. It's more of an Underdark thing.
Well, yeah, I'd probably agree with Adrian and be worried about if the Demon Lord would get angry about spores on him. So I would ask everyone if there's someone who can translate.
Here's the thing.
No.
Yeah.
Spores it is.
Like, we did not take the folks who could really speak it, if I recall. It's gonna be a while for, like, straight up studying, you know, Abyssal. It's, like, certainly...
So what you need to do is you need to get to level whatever your next perk level is, and then you take languages.
Yeah. Court, I believe, can make herself known in Abyssal. That was one of her, whatchamacallits. So if you would rather bring her rather than bring Spore, that is a thing that you can do.
Well, does she just know how to make herself known, or can she, like, actually do a bit more than that?
A little column A, a little
like,
column B. There might be a
real-
translation issue or two that, you know.
I would sort of kind of prefer Spurs not have the translation.
So, don't even bring Court along?
If she wants to come, I don't mind.
Okay.
She's cool.
So are we happy with this group of 5 people going to see the Demon King?
You gonna... Okay, I'm gonna come to prevent us all from having the incident.
I don't know what the implication is there, but I would be insulted.
Okay. We can go without Spore if Adrian actually wants to come. Like that seems a little bit.
Ogre, not giant, but
Yeah, you
I think that would be considered hostile.
Man, that's just awesome. I can talk to, like, rocks and trees and stuff, but I can't talk to other actual living creatures.
Yeah, that's how that works.
There are no druid spells that allow, like, languages or anything like that.
that's pretty funny. Alright, so it is gated. The way actually to the castle, and you make your ways to the gates and you're stopped, and it's sort of an assortment of demons that stop you. It's not just, you know, the little tiny ones, although that is generally what there is. Again, I don't have a ton of demon tokens on here, and you know, my OCD when it comes to tokens. But they, you know, ask you what you're doing. Yes, hello, can we help you? Go away. This is not for tourists.
Well, you see, would like to seek an audience with the demon.
You want to... They sort of glance over to the castle. You want to talk to Welshra? Shaw? Excuse me.
Silence.
Yes. Is talking to him not a thing that's usually?
No, it's not a thing that's usually done. I mean, you know, come on inside. We'll see if he's busy.
Space now the fucking beholder. It's a divine ironic.
if everyone's scared of him, maybe he like never has anyone to talk to and will really like us for wanting to talk to him.
Right?
Yeah, like that could be it too. There could.
He could just be lonely.
It's like it's a possibility. But you're ushered into the castle, into sort of a waiting area, and it's fairly, gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? Very, it's plain. It's sort of a large, just empty place. There's like a seat or two set up, but that's really it. And out comes sort of this very artistically created, embellished, filigree sort of golem. And he would speak in a very sort of robotic voice. What is it? What do you need for Welshaw?
Oh, we'd simply like to introduce ourselves as new travelers to your domain, Lord Welshaw.
Those of you who have, you know, the requisite sort of like arcana would know that this is a warforged, something created on a different plane, basically a golem, sentient in nature, but definitely a created thing. Definitely not what fits into what one would call a demon. And I'm sorry, I missed what you actually said.
I was just explaining we were here to introduce ourselves, as we are newcomers to his domain.
Good. Who are you? As I mentioned, I am Demon Lord Welshaw.
We are known, well, since there is more than one of us, we are known as the Imperatus Company, but I am Rick, and we have heard tale of the great city from far away. I wanted to come see the well-known leader of such a great town.
He gives you sort of a hard stare for a moment. I'm not sure if I believe that. If I'm well known for anything around here, it's for nothing good by certain standards. What are you doing
Is there
here?
anything?
Well, we didn't say good.
Yeah, we just said that we heard about you. I wanted to come here as well, we have business in the city, and damn, I've gone and blanked. I'm sorry.
We are coming here on business and exploration from a recent sojournment to the Abyss, and we heard about your city, so we decided to come introduce ourselves to you. As, you know, more formal introduction. Proper procedure, at least.
I see. That is something I value. I appreciate this formal audience. I would caution you to obey the rules of the city. You've been making quite a spectacle of yourselves out there, by all reports.
What is he speaking? Is he speaking in
He's
common?
speaking in common.
Yeah. Well, we heard that there was an arena, and I sort of wanted to get into a fight. I went around. No one around the arena wants to fight me. I was a little bit disappointed.
He sort of does the
That is,
whatever the Warforged equivalent of grinding his teeth is. Yes, indeed, the arena. I've made a concession for the arena.
Must be quite hard to keep all these demonic persons in line, knowing their base nature.
He sighs incredibly heavy, and you have no idea how difficult it is.
Don't mind me asking, Lord, why are you doing such anyways? Someone of your nature doesn't seem to exactly need to say rule over, but deal with these entities.
I have been tasked with guarding the Soul Fountain. I have decided that this is the best course of action to go about keeping it safe.
Fair enough.
Well, may I ask? Well, you obviously know that we are less than familiar with the nuances of your city. Maybe we can do some kind of a trade. Is there a service we might be able to perform for you in exchange for information and maybe a few souls? Because we understand that is the currency of the land.
Do you have any welcoming pamphlets?
A brochure or two?
There is little that I believe I would want from you, except for you to keep the peace and the order of the city. Now, if you're looking for something like long-term employment, that surely can be arranged. And believe me, it'd be wanted for something that has a non-chaotic nature to reside within the city for long terms.
Well, that rules me out.
That kind of sucks.
Well, I only asked because you gave an obvious sigh when we mentioned the arena. Is that a thorn in your side? Is that something we can help with?
No, I have called it in because it seems to be the best way to allow these denizens some form of outlet. They're demons, you see. Their very nature is that of fighting, strife, and conflict. If I don't give them some sort of outlet, why, every so many years I have to go and kill the lot of them.
So you just let them kill themselves. That's actually pretty smart. That's why you're the Lord.
Sounds like us.
Well, do you know a particular demon by the name of Sold?
Uru, I thought. Which one's alive still?
Sold is alive.
Sold.
Okay.
Yes, some sort of parasitic subspecies. He took over one of our slaving groups, or not one of our slaving groups, excuse me. One of the slaving groups.
Maybe so forward as to ask if you would have an issue if we eliminated him?
You will not disobey the rules in the city.
We will not disobey the rules of the city if we kill him, or is that telling us not to kill him because that would be disobeying?
You will not disobey the rules in the city. You will not cause harm. You will not start fighting. You will not be acting so damned chaotically here.
Thank you for the clarification.
But would we, let's say, be allowed to challenge him in the arena?
Yes, I don't see why not. The trick would be to get him to take your challenge. He's not stupid.
I'm pretty sure he already doesn't like me.
I think he is stupid. Even so, that is for something for you to do. I have no wish for politics.
But you're the Lord of it.
Things will do as I say, as I decree, or I will smash them.
The concept
good.
after Rick's own heart.
I'm
Actually,
really
Crick can
starting
lance
to
at him.
like.
Is he like more of a warrior, or is he more like a some sort of mage?
He looks probably more like the warrior type. Like, you don't see any very visible weapons about his person, but I mean, it's kind of hard to tell with a Warforged, you know. Like, even the magey kinds kind of look like they're built for combat, you know, hand-to-hand combat.
Not to mention they have like part of the
Okay, well, thank you for your time. I don't, unless anybody else has any questions to ask. Thank you for giving us the layout of what is and what is not acceptable.
Indeed, this was
We'll try
an
not to make
incredibly
any-
pleasant discussion. I have enjoyed it immensely.
Insight, is he being sarcastic about
No,
this?
he's not.
I don't think he can.
Okay.
Well, then we welcome you to visit our city sometime if you can get past the hordes of demons out. A place of law and order might serve as a nice retreat from this
It
chaos.
sounds wonderful, but my place is here.
If you don't mind me asking, who ordered you to protect?
I do mind
the-
you asking.
Okay, then forget I asked.
Check the compass. I look at the compass.
You check the compass, and it is
That
pointing
sounds like it could be about.
straight towards him.
Yep, thought so.
Now, if I move around him, is it just pinpoint on him?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
He just
Oh, so we
watches
need to
you
get
like,
him back to the
What are
city.
you doing?
We should let bygones be bygones. We flip the table and we side with what's his name? Sold. We can make a deal with Sold to fight the Lord. He can take over.
I mean,
Well, the
you can
thing
certainly
is,
do that.
We're already right here.
Yeah, I think the person that can stop demons and has done for presumably centuries can take us.
Yeah, I don't fancy our chances against a Warforged who controls hordes of demons. Especially not when
And
it's
as a
only
legitimate
war.
I
soul.
wouldn't necessarily say he controls hordes of demons.
Well, he keeps them in line well enough,
Well,
apparently.
I think keeps them in line is definitely different than controlling.
Could we ask by chance what you're protecting the forge from? Besides the demons, presumably.
Yeah, any who would use it.
Wait, so
Damn it.
What?
Should've come.
what is so dangerous about these? I thought they were like the main source of currency around here. I thought people's idea was to use
I
it.
do not wish to answer
Yeah.
this question.
Forgive our ignorance. We just assumed that was sort of.
I do apologize. This
No
thing just
apologies are
confuses
necessary.
me. I've just never heard of never.
Silence. Just awkward stare. I just presume this force just has a blank look on his face. He's just kind of standing there.
Like, it's not an awkward silence for him. It might be incredibly awkward for you all, but...
Well,
Like, he's definitely protecting it from us.
But we only
I'm
want
not
to
sure if he knows that yet, but he's definitely protecting it from.
let's get back to camp before you start talking about all that, though.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
if-
that-
That's meaning out of character. I'm
Sure,
not
I
gonna,
understand.
I'm not gonna just say that.
Because I know my character would like to know some of that information that we've just heard.
Well, then I believe we shall bid you a good, whatever passes for day in these realms. Feel free to, again, visit our city. You might find a, I'm not sure if you can actually move it. I'm assuming it's more of a natural kind of thing in the world, but if you ever need to see the plane shifts every few months, you know, feel free to visit us. It's pretty hard to capture something that keeps shifting.
Thank you for that, although I will likely not visit your city.
Fair enough.
Oh, I think you will.
I think we'll be off now, but we'll come say goodbye before we.
That would be most enjoyable as well.
Then, let's take our leave of that.
You sort of, leave. You say your farewells, and he says one goodbye. As it were, and sort of on your way out, like, the demons who are standing guard are sort of giving you, like, these stares. They certainly did not expect you to come back, perhaps at all, if in one piece. So, how did things go?
I don't know what you all
Oh
scared.
my god! How do you guys? He's so terrifying.
Like, I know, right? He is.
I kind of liked him.
Obviously, I'm lying.
Sure.
I mean, I
Pretty
didn't
close,
meet
huh?
him, but I like him.
Yeah, he's kind of got a thing against us for some reason, it seems.
Might be. I go
Really
towards the.
violent dickheads.
I lean in towards the demons. He seems kind of, speciesist.
Exactly.
Yeah, how long has he been around?
A long time. Not the centuries one, but the one past that. There you
Millennia?
go.
Wow. Yeah.
Take him.
Yeah, we need to get him back to the city. We need to come back and say goodbye.
Back to camp.
Just a little.
All right. Well, we head back to camp
Just a little while.
with our newfound information. Oh, I forgot to move us off that. Whoops.
Off the camp page that we've been on the entire time, that you haven't been on, presumably. We've just been moving. Like, why aren't they moving the tokens? What's wrong with them?
Yeah. No worries. Things happen.
On another note, since we're going to be
But the
camping,
inside of the castle actually looked real cool.
We'll have to see it next time.
Next time.
I could just check the vault.
I'm saying next time I'm warding the castle.
No, I just actually moved us back to the city. I didn't have the. Okay, so we are back with everyone now.
Yay.
What do we tell everyone?
First, I warded the castle so we have a safe place to talk. there's any divination to keep control of stuff, then he can't see into this.
Okay.
Precautions are a wizard's best friend, and also preparation.
I thought it was spell slot. But yes, what do you guys tell?
But I want to get
This-
Hurt. I want to get the Artificer, definitely. And on this, who else would know things about a Warforged?
Man, imagine not bringing the Artificer when your Demon Lord is Warforged.
Yeah, right, guys?
You guys are so close to
That
not
was-
bringing her.
Yeah, that was lucky.
In all fairness, I did want the art.
You almost brought Spore to talk with a construct. Wait, it's common.
Who could speak common?
Huh?
Got
That's
nice-
what we know what we're dealing with.
Yeah, the nice warded tower. But, yeah. Let's bring the Whisper in, because she's nice.
Do you think maybe we should also bring? I can't see your name. What is
Zydron?
your name? Zydron.
Yeah, I was just kind of a given that I'd come in.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so we met the Demon Lord.
What was he like?
Not a demon.
Yeah, he's not a demon.
Well, that's mildly surprising.
He's a millennia-old Warforged tasked with guarding the Soulforge, and that seems to be inside of him at the moment, according to the compass at least.
Did you see it? The forge.
I saw the Warforged that was holding it, presumably.
We saw the vessel of it. I don't know what it's meant to look
Yeah,
like.
Yeah, what
If
do
it's
they look
inside
like?
of him or if it is just him.
Arcana check. What the hell is a Soulforge? No, I don't know. I wish I had the 30. Oh, I was a natural 19.
I mean, I'm just taking a guess here, but
Han after that.
I'm thinking,
Was it the elephant
No.
after that?
no, that's my current character.
Was he doing something with that?
Huh?
Or that's what I'm trying to figure out. But I'm just taking a guess that the Soul Forge might be one of those, I forget what they're called, but the Warforge equipment. The really, really rare one that gives them proper sentience and shit. What are they again?
The docents?
Yeah, that's it.
The magic talking items that we don't know about?
Yeah, I'm just making an out of character guess.
Yeah, but what do you mean? Because they're sentient, but the Warforged are their own entities.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying the Soul Forge could be a docent.
There could be something inside of him, definitely, but he could also just have a storage space.
Yeah. I mean, we
Yeah,
don't
but-
know yet.
Kill
For
him
sure.
to
He
loot his
could-
corpse,
he
try to
could
find the camouflage compartment. Open it up, it's just another me inside.
Oh gosh.
Oh no.
That'd be kind of great.
So yeah, you guys sort of explain what it was. That it was not what you exactly expected.
It is a millennia-old Warforged who has been strong enough to keep the demons in line for millennia.
Which is likely pretty impressive. And he doesn't exactly like fighting.
He's a very lawful, logical individual.
He actually doesn't like the fact that he's known, like from what I got of him, he doesn't like the fact that he's known for being so. But it works for him, so he does what he must. I'm not sure if that's right. That's just like what
Sure.
Rick says about what he thought.
So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and end right here because, it's a pretty natural place to end. Our energy is kind of drained at the moment. I think we will probably pick up likely at the end of this conversation again next time because there might be some more questions we have, but we're all sort of done with it, and now I know kind of what we're going to be doing next time, to an extent.
I was gonna say, do you go with our party? Do you
I
really?
certainly have a better idea.
We could talk to him or we could punch him.
Yeah.
Maybe we might have like 2 arenas.
Maybe we'll talk to him and then punch him.
I like
What if
that
we
one.
challenge him to the arena, then punch him?
I guess the big question is
No,
whether he
That's
follows his own
technically
rules or
talking
not.
to him.
But
Yeah.
if he's a lawful individual who's a robot, then he should.
Not quite.
Or he'll just smash us.
Yeah, I reckon he'd just be like, yeah,
Alright, just
okay,
give me
and
a
then just
couple.
one hit.
Just
Yes.
open his Mega Buster.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are going to end here. Good session. Kind of talky heavy, but we have found some new and exciting things, and we have perhaps painted some rather large targets on our back as well.
One way or another, we need to have a fight next week, though, because it's been 2 sessions.
And that's the cutoff point.
It's just weird our party not killing something in more than 2 sessions.
Recently we've fought a good bit, but like every 2 sessions or so before a fight is pretty typical.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good session. Everyone go ahead and say bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Take it easy, Anthony.
Bye.